And welcome back to Champaign. Glenbard West, storied football program taking on Wheaton Warrenville South for the 7A state championship coming up here on the IHSA TV network. Lee Hall with Coach Paul Parpet from Addison Trail. Gary Carhonen, longtime coach at Richards, 306 career wins for him. And Coach Parpet has a fan out there that he wants to say hi to, former player, before we get going here and look at 7A.
Yes, this summer on July the 8th, one of our former players was involved in a severe car accident. And Mike DiStefano, I know you're out there watching. You're doing an outstanding job. Keep battling. He's at Res Care Rehabilitation Center right now in Downers Grove. And keep fighting, and before you know it, you're going to be home. So keep going, DiStef.
All right, Mike. Good luck to you.
Mike,
thanks for watching. God bless you. Let's talk football now. Let's go over to Coach Carhonen. Wheaton Warrenville South comes into this game 12-1. What can you tell us about the Tigers?
Okay, Wheaton Warrenville South, no stranger to the state scene arena here. No stranger to as far as Ron Muhich is concerned. Ron Muhich was a longtime defensive coordinator under the great John Thorne, who's now the head coach at North Central. Ron actually. Wheaton Warrenville South has 5 state championships, 4 under John Thorne and 1 most recently under Ron Muhich. So Ron really is an outstanding coach. He has great kids. I happened to see the quarterfinal game against a great St. Rita team. They really did an outstanding job of coaching in that game. They came in with a game plan of throwing the football because they weren't going to try and outmuscle a strong St. Rita team. And Riley O'Toole, the quarterback. How can you miss with a name like Riley O'Toole? You can't miss.
All right, Coach. Let me just jump in here on you. We've got a look at the playoff history. Muhich was in your seat before, so we kicked him out because he's playing for a state championship. Look at there, 41 combined appearances and 3 consecutive appearances in the playoffs for Glenbard West, Wheaton Warrenville South 7. There's a look at the playoff record, 59-15 for Wheaton Warrenville South, 22-18 for Glenbard West. So a rich history here, Coach, for both
very
sides.
Rich history, right.
Tell us about Glenbard West. Jim Covert, the former coach, will be calling the game.
Yep, Jim Covert, he was a coach in 1983 when Glenbard West beat Bartonville Limestone at Dyke Stadium in Northwestern. And in the last few years, Glenbard West has really put together an outstanding run. Coach Chad Hetlett came in there 2 years ago and has done a remarkable job. Glenbard West, got by Lake Zurich last week, and I think that they are very battle-tested coming out of the tough West Suburban Silver, where they competed against Hinsdale Central and Downers Grove North and teams of that nature. But Glenbard West plays outstanding defense. They are very well coached. They will move the ball on offense. They're not fancy, but they'll take that ball and run it right at you. Glenbard is a very good football team. 2
of the top 4 teams in the final AP poll of the season. Glenbard West, number 2. Wheaton Warrenville South, number 3. Let's take a look at the tale of 2 cities. Glenbard West from Glen Ellyn, population 27,132 in DuPage County. Enrollment just over 2,100, the West Suburban Conference. Wheaton, population 54,465, also in DuPage County. Their enrollment just one shy of 2,400 in the DuPage Valley Conference. And Wheaton Warrenville South, not only are they ranked 3rd, they knocked off number 6 St. Rita and number 1 East St. Louis on the way to the state championship game. So they've been kid-tested, mother-approved coming in.
Yeah, I think that there's no doubt that Ron Muhich's ball club had about as tough a road as anybody could have getting to the state title, fighting their way through a Geneva, a good ball club there, St. Rita, East St. Louis, and finally Glenbard West, who's undefeated right now.
Let's take a look. We've talked about line play a lot today. Let's take a look at the in the trenches, the offensive line averaging 6'1", 232 pounds. They've got a little bit of a reach and a lot of muscle and a lot of weight over Wheaton Warrenville South, guys.
Well, Glenbard West is a very good offensive line. But when I saw Wheaton Warrenville South play Geneva, the thing I was very impressed with Wheaton Warrenville's defense was the quickness and their attitude to get to the football. I think it's going to be a battle up front And Glenbard West, again, they have some size on Wheaton Warrenville, but Wheaton Warrenville has been playing that way all year long.
Look at the offensive line for Wheaton Warrenville South. They make up for it on that side of the ball. 6'3", 262 the average, Coach.
Yeah, well, actually, Rocco Amons is their great offensive tackle. He's 6'5" and 310. He might be like Dan Foreman, another one of those that was an 8th grade guys, but he just, he's the anchor of the offensive line. And, one of the great things about that offensive line, they don't seem to be bent on pounding the ball, although they can, but, they give Riley O'Toole the proper protection, and the kicking game enters, too, with Nick Emicus.
There you get a look at the scoring for Glenbard West. Over 30 points a game, both during the regular season and in the playoffs. Very stingy defense, allowing just an average of right around 10 points per game. And Riley O'Toole will be a guy, Coach, you talked about him. There's a scoring for Wheaton Warrenville South. We talked about Riley O'Toole, the Wheaton Warrenville South quarterback. Just 1 interception in 212 attempts. 1,990 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 1 interception. That is unbelievable.
Well, Riley O'Toole is going to have to throw the football in order for Wheaton Warrenville to have success. And he's going to have to throw it when Glenbard is not dictating the throw.
All right, Gary Corhonen and Coach Paul Parpet, that's going to do it for our segment. Stick around. We've got the 7A state championship game coming your way next. It's Wheaton Warrenville South and Glenbard West after this on the IHSA TV network.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign. It's time for kickoff of tonight's 7A state championship game between Wheaton Warrenville South and Glenbard West. Wheaton Warrenville South, no strangers to late November football. As you just heard, they're making their 3rd state title appearance in the last 4 seasons. As for Glenbard West, the Hilltoppers are undefeated but still searching for their first state championship since way back in 1983 when they were coached by one Mr. Jim Covert. Let's send it up top for the call. The coach, Jim Covert and Tom Stocker. Guys, take it away.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. These two programs have been playing one another since 1916 when Jim was a grad assistant. But these two schools, this meeting here tonight, really the seeds were planted a year ago in November. Glenbard West, they feel they got some unfinished business. They lost in the semifinals to eventual champion East St. Louis. Meanwhile, Wheaton Warrenville South, they've been a program just absolutely on a mission since they were very unceremoniously upset in round 1 by Downers Grove North a year ago. And these two programs, no surprise that they're playing for the championship here tonight.
Oh, that's right, Tom. Wheaton Warrenville South, Glenbard West, they're only 7 miles apart. When these young men on both squads were freshmen, they started their football careers with their first football game against each other. And who would have thought 4 years later that they would play their last game as seniors against each other in a state championship game? It's really exciting. They've never met in a state title game before.
Let's see how these two teams advance to tonight's championship game. First for Glenbard West, cruising in the first round over Rockford Guilford, then defeating Rockton Hononegah. A win over St. Charles North in the quarterfinal, and then the real character builder, scoring a touchdown with 6.4 seconds left to upend Lake Zurich on the road at Lake Zurich. Meanwhile, look at this road for Wheaton Warrenville South. All right, St. Lawrence, 61-6. Geneva, a finalist a year ago. St. Rita, a champion 2 years ago. And defending champion East St. Louis Senior, maybe the most impressive win out of that whole group for Wheaton Warrenville South. Glenbard West has had a multi-pronged attack led by a very solid, tall, strong quarterback named Tyler Warden.
Tyler Warden's just getting better and better with more experience. At 6'6", he can see over the defense. He's only thrown 3 interceptions, 16 touchdowns, and has excellent mobility. He's a two-way starter in basketball and football.
Anchoring the hard-hitting defense for the Hilltoppers, an outstanding all-state linebacker in Connor Loftus.
Connor Loftus is a middle linebacker, an outstanding student, 34 in his ACT, 16 sacks, all those solo tackles. He's a real leader in the middle, and he's really going to have a great game tonight.
Wheaton Warrenville South, they've got a pretty solid, tall, rangy quarterback as well. Well, heck, every day is St. Patrick's Day when your name is Riley O'Toole.
Riley O'Toole's arguably, I would say, the best junior quarterback around. You talk about good decision making. He has only been intercepted one time against St. Rita with 23 touchdown strikes.
The Tiger defense has a very talented linebacker as well. Their defensive unit is anchored by Tom LaBelle.
Tom LaBelle, that name has been heard before at Wheaton Warrenville South. He's the third in a line of brothers to anchor that defense in the middle. He's got 91 tackles, 63 solos, a team captain, and a real leader on the field.
Teams representing two solid conferences. The West Suburban Conference for Glenbard West. They're the champions. Wheaton Warrenville South out of the DuPage Valley. Both schools have played very tough talent this year.
And both have good offensive running games and throw the ball well. Both are very mobile on defense. Turnovers in the kicking game is going to be critical in this contest.
Young coach Chad Hetlett, 25-1 for his program the last 2 years. What a job he's done in his short tenure.
He's really reestablished the Glenbard West tradition. He has a great group of younger coaches. Of course, Ron Muhich, a veteran, has done a great job at Wheaton South. Down here in 2006 to win the entire thing, and back here again in 2009.
In fact, he's coached in every championship game Wheaton Warrenville South has ever played in. Conditions are just about ideal as the sun is setting, and it'll get a little cooler as the sun sets here at Champaign Memorial Stadium, but very comfortable, 57 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at 10. Conditions are sunny. The forecast will be clear. A nice clear sky once the sun sets on a delightful day weather-wise for football here at Memorial Stadium. All right, that sets the scene. Let's meet the two teams who will battle for the 7A state championship as we go to Stadium Public Address announcer Jeff Fritzen.
Snaps for this Class 7A 2009 IHSA State Championship game. First, from Wheaton Warrenville South, head coach Ron.
The starting defense for the Tigers, at nose guard, 33, Sparty Chino. Defensive lineman, number 41, Tyler Becker. Defensive end, number 53, Matthew Ives.
Defensive line, number 43, Ross Katina. Linebacker, number 42, Jack Eshelman. Linebacker, number 37, Michael Wheaton. Middle linebacker, number 31, Thomas LaBelle. Strong safety, number 34, Joseph Krob. Free safety, number 7, Caleb Bednars. Cornerback, number 25, Shane Durkee. And at cornerback, number 4, Zachary Ackerman. And now for Glenbard West, led by head coach Chad Hetlett. The Hilltoppers offense, number 12 at quarterback, Tyler Warden. Halfback, number 3, Steve Jones. Fullback, number 23, Adam Brewer. Wide receiver, number 8, Nick Burello. Wide receiver, number 9, J.T. Mesh. Tight end, number 5, Will Caspers. At left tackle, number 70, Greg Kuhn. At left guard, number 52, Mike Sandos. At center, number 61, Tommy Nalen. At right guard, number 74, Johnny Caspers. And at right tackle, number 75, Jordan Walsh.
So there you meet the two teams battling here for the 7A state championship. These two ball clubs very evenly matched, and I suppose as we take a look at the key to the game, Jim, first for Glenbard West, they've got a lot of people to use.
Well, they have depth at running back, and we're going to see a lot of guys carry the football, and that's going to be critical for them. They need to put pressure on Riley O'Toole, of course, and have tight coverage in the secondary, and no turnovers. They had 3 turnovers against Lake Zurich Bears, and we're very fortunate to come out on top in that game, so the turnover issue is big. For Wheaton Warrenville South, they're going to load up the box, I think, and really challenge the running game of the Hilltoppers. And Riley O'Toole continue to make good decisions with the football and win the kicking game. We've got Nick Jimenez, a great kicker, and he has the ability to hit a 40-yard, 50-yard field goal in this game.
In fact, he's got a field goal now in 3 consecutive games. As you take a look, getting ready to kick it off is the aforementioned Nick Jimenez.
He can put it in the end zone, and they've got the wind behind them, so there's a good chance that the Hilltoppers will have to start out marching the ball 80 yards.
Second playoff meeting ever. The other was 1990 in the second round in 5A. Wheaton Warrenville South a 7-3 victor. Here's the kick from Jimenez. And this one was going to wind up in the end zone, through the end zone, and out to the 20-yard line it'll come. 1st and 10 for Glenbard West. The offensive line, good size in the middle. Greg Kuhn at 230, Sandoz at 200, Tommy Ellyn at 200, Johnny Kaspers at 255, and Jordan Walsh, All-Stater, at 275. In the backfield, Tyler Warden with the very speedy Steve Jones, Adam Brewer at fullback, Borello, J.T. Mesh, and Will Kaspers are the receivers. 1st and 10 from the 20. Sweeping around, Nick Borello. Borello, one man to beat. Gets by him and gets it into Wheaton Warrenville South territory on a big gain on the first play, 34 yards. There's the defensive line. A 4-4 scheme for Wheaton Warrenville South. Sparty Chino, Tyler Becker, Matt Ives, and Ross Katina. The linebackers are Eshelman, Heaton, and LaBelle. And in the secondary, Krob, Bednars, Shane Dirking, yes, another Dirking, and Zach Ackerman. Rolling out is Tyler Warden. Throws, and it is intercepted. Intercepted at the 35-yard line. Intercepted by Jack Eshelman, the strong side linebacker.
And you just mentioned Jack Eshelman, and they were trying West as Tyler Warden rolls out. So he's going to mesh on the curl route, but there's under coverage there. They had that play well scouted. The Hilltoppers broke out on a great run on the first play, and now turn it over. Good defense there, under coverage, and that's Warden's 4th interception of the season.
So O'Toole will come out of the shotgun. In the backfield is Julian Banuelos. He keeps O'Toole with a hole, and he's up to the 42-yard line. The offense for Wheaton Warrenville South, Cortopassi, Lurson, Muir, and Imicus, along with Emmons in the offensive line. The backfield with O'Toole is Tom Olt, Banuelos, Schumann, Greg McAndrew, one of their top receivers, and he also plays quarterback as well as flanker Mac Tracy.
Matt Rogers, number 9, and Banuelos share that time at tailback. They have some nice depth at that position.
2nd down and 2 for the Tigers. O'Toole, plenty of time. Long pass to the far side of the field. It is complete to Mac Tracy. They get enough for the first down. They pick up 4, and it's 1st and 10. As we look at the interior defensive line for Glenbard West with Zach Marshall, Andy Allen, and Tommy Shutt. The linebacking core, Justin Mesh, Connor Loftus, Atkins, Billy O'Donnell, and Tim Holloway. And in the secondary, cornerbacks Marston and Olson, and Mike Lanning, the free safety. 1st and 10 for Wheaton. Here is O'Toole to the near side, comes up throwing, and it is off the hands on the near side, looking for Greg McAndrew. McAndrew, a 5'10 senior.
McAndrew's a very shifty receiver. They had a little crossing pattern, short crossing pattern. And in fact, his cousin, Tom McAndrew, a former Glenbard West Hilltopper, is a starting defensive end for Stanford this evening against Notre Dame. So that's quite an interesting matchup there.
McAndrew, you see out of your screen, O'Toole in the playoffs has completed 61% of his passes for 723 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. The handoff goes to Banuelos. Stop shy of midfield. Some hard hitting from the Glenbard West defense, among the linebackers under Billy O'Donnell to make the stop. Also coming in, Jack Marston at quarterback.
Connor Loftus, number 10, will be in on a lot of tackles. He's the middle linebacker, and he's got to really keep an eye on Banuelos. And there's a double threat inside because they'll go with Banuelos or Riley O'Toole off that zone read play out of the gun.
3rd and long. O'Toole now under center. Play action. Now he's rolling out. He can run. And he's got the first down to the 39-yard line. Finally tackled by Mike Lanning, the free safety.
That's tough duty there as we see Riley O'Toole running out to the right side. He's going to scramble with it. O'Donnell had a shot at him, but then Marston comes up and makes the stop. That's tough in the secondary. They have to cover and then come up and make the play. Good decision making once again by Riley O'Toole, who's been making good decisions the entire season.
He's averaging just over 3 yards a carry, which is not bad for a quarterback since they take sacks off your rushing yardage. There's the toss to Banuelos. Cuts it back. Knocked off his feet at the 35-yard line after a pickup of 5. The 2nd and 5 coming up. No score as we take a look at that one again.
Banuelos has great peripheral vision. He picks an inside lane, gets upfield, and it's Mesh on the backside. Backside linebacker coming across field on pursuit. Justin Mesh, one of the 2 Mesh boys, whose dad was a player on the 77 Hilltopper football team.
2nd and 5. Straight ahead, hurling up the middle is Matt Rogers. And Rogers close to a first down. They needed to get the ball squarely on the 30-yard line.
Tom Olp, you'll see lead block on this. At number 40, he's a very unselfish football player as a fullback in behind that wave offensive line surge. As we had mentioned, Rogers and Banuelos share that duty. They have depth in their backfield, as do the Hilltoppers.
Rogers, in 3 of his last 5 games, has scored 3 touchdowns in each game.
We saw Nick Imicus, of course, who kicked the ball in the end zone, a very active offensive left guard for the Tigers.
3rd and short. Rogers is the man in motion. Banuelos, lots of room. The hole is filled, but not before Banuelos gets the first down. Mike Lanning there to greet him, but not until they move the chains again. A gain of 4 yards and a first down.
A little stretch play, zone, outside zone blocking. Good support by Lanning, but you see the Tigers getting into 4 for 10 territory here. And as we had mentioned early in the broadcast, in the opening, kicking game is big and turnovers are big. And this drive is set up by an interception, and the Tigers are taking advantage right now.
Looking to put the first score on the board. First down and 10 for the Tigers. Banuelos shoots it straight ahead to the 22, maybe 21-yard line. Tackled by Connor Loftus, the All-State linebacker, a gain of 5.
It's that outside zone play again, once again, and Banuelos looking for lanes to cut in. He's got a low center of gravity and excellent speed.
Banuelos, 42 yards on 14 carries, 2 touchdowns in the semifinal win over East St. Louis. Tracy is the lone man in the backfield as O'Toole is under center. Off the fake. Just getting it away is O'Toole. Leaping catch made by Jason Schumann. And he's down to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 12 yards.
Schumann on the bootleg pass, the big tight end. He's 6'7", great target as you see Riley O'Toole getting a lot of pressure from Lanning, but he gets it in there, threads the needle, and Schumann has done an excellent job of filling in for injured tight end Dan Hohenstein, who was injured in the Geneva game.
And will not be able to play the rest of the playoffs. Great job also by O'Toole standing in there against the pressure and delivering that pass right on the button. Rogers up the middle to the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Once again, Loftus, number 10 in on the tackle, a 6-yard gain.
Wheaton Warrenville's big up front. They like to run in behind 73 Chris Cortopassi, the 6'2", 290-pound lineman there with his hands on his hips. Riley O'Toole goes over to Ron Muhich, who in his first year as coach of Wheaton South called defense like he had done in all the previous years with John Thorne, but now he calls the plays and he enjoys the change-up as a coach. The variety has been good for him.
From left to right, that line goes 290, 250, 220, 240, 310. But not any hole there.
Nice job inside by 85, Tommy Schutt. Tommy Schutt's a very athletic defensive lineman, only a sophomore, 6'3", 265 pounds. And Tommy Schutt's dad was actually a running back for Glenbard West back in 1980. He shows that athleticism, but he has a lot more size, of course, than his dad. Timeout.
We've got a timeout called by Wheaton Warrenville South.
Timeout. Wheaton.
No score, 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter as we hear from our network sponsors.
IHSA.org is the address for the...
3rd and 4 for Wheaton Warrenville South. The ball is at the 4-yard line of Glenbard West. Rogers and Banuelos in the backfield as O'Toole steps up in the pocket, escapes one would-be tackler, still on his feet, struggling to get to the 2-yard line. How did he do that?
A lot of athleticism and a lot of desire. There was great pressure applied to Riley O'Toole on that football play. We'll see it. He's looking into the end zone. Looks like he's going for a slant in. It's not there. There's good pressure. Spin move to the outside. Zach Marshall had a shot at him. A lot of bodies flying around in there.
Finally, the free safety Lanning, 41, was able to get a square hit on him.
Big play here on 4th down.
4th down. And goal to go.
Triple I.
The dotted I. Now they go to a power I. Nope, they go to the full house T. Here's Banuelos.
He didn't get it.
He did not make it. He didn't make it in, and Glenbard West will take it over on downs. Connor Loftus, one of those in there on the stop, and Glenbard West gets the ball back.
Great football play defensively as I see a double lead play come there. Banuelos gets nailed in the hole, and Connor Loftus, along with his teammates there, number 10, scrapes to the left tackle gap. There was also a nice play by number 2, Jack Marston, the defensive halfback.
Big stop. So now 99 yards away from pay dirt. Tyler Warden and company will get to work. Warden just keeping it to get some room to work. Gets it out to the 3-yard line, picks up a couple, and 2nd and 8 coming up.
Nice look at Mike Sandos there. Starter last year. Coming back, there's quite a few veterans on this team. Greg Kuhn, left tackle as well, a veteran, and some youth there as well. Johnny Casper's only a sophomore at right offensive guard, and Jordan Walsa Jr., number 75, at right tackle.
With it is Pierre Washington Steele, his first carry. And he just gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard to the 4.
They shifted, the Hilltoppers did, to an unbalanced line. As you see, Pierre Washington Steele, a transfer from Driscoll. He lived in the district, of course, and has a lot of speed. He took 2nd in the 100-meter dash last year in the state track meet.
But you saw him hesitate, and boy, that'll negate your speed advantage.
Well,
real
it was,
quickly.
but you know, he is good at following his blockers, so we'll see if the Hilltoppers can get him out today. Really good active defense for the Tigers. They're very mobile on defense.
3rd and 8, fumble on the handoff.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think Wheaton's got it. A bad exchange on the handoff, and the Tigers have it at the 1-yard line. Holy smokes.
Well, you just can't do that. It looked like Nick Borello was going on a flat motion, and there was a fumble on the exchange, and that's one of the keys to the game. We'll have a chance to see it here. Didn't get that elbow up. The ball came up. The timing was off on the play, and now the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers are down by pay dirt, and you just can't do that with a team like the Tigers.
It looked like Borello was past the quarterback.
He was. Yep, the timing was off, and they work hard on that timing.
Well, 1st and goal from the 2. Banuelos stopped at the 1-yard line. And we have a late penalty marker thrown on the tackle. In there on the stop is Mike Lanning, who's been very busy from the free safety position. And we've got a face mask preliminary indication against the Glenbard West defense.
Well, and from this situation, Riley O'Toole only needs to sneak it in with his size in that line.
5-yard face mask on the defense. Half the distance, still first down.
Octavio Herrera Jr., our referee. The rest of his crew, Jeff Conrad, Jim Ask, Brian Stady, and Charles Grayburn. Congratulations to all for getting the state championship assignment. Keeping it as O'Toole, looking for his 6th touchdown of the year. And no indication. Nope. He did not break the plane.
He did not break the plane. If he's going to take that sneak in again, he's going to have to go to the B gap and get outside that center guard gap. Andy Ellyn in there in the trenches, 250 pounds, and Tommy Shutt inside. Jordan Walsh as well, an all-state football player.
2nd and inches. Banuelos over the top, touchdown, Tigers.
They ran it a little wider on the double lead play, and the Tigers get first blood, as we'll see, an end zone shot, double lead, running outside off tackle. Nice score for the Wheaton South Tigers. Banuelos draws first blood with his offensive line in front of him.
His 8th touchdown of the year. He set the tone for his season with a 40-yard touchdown run in the season opener against Hinsdale Central. Here is the point after from Imicus. And it's good. And Wheaton Warrenville South on the board first. 2:23 left in the first quarter. We're here now from our local stations.
Welcome back to the 7A state title game as Wheaton Warrenville South takes a 7-0 lead thanks to 2 turnovers. It's no surprise this Tiger defense is about as stingy as it gets. They only allow about 10 points per game, which is impressive considering they had to replace 9 of their defensive starters from a year ago. This team, head coach Ron Muhich says, our defense plays with heart. When we play a team that's bigger than us, we play with speed and quickness, and that's what our defense is built upon, guys.
Pierre Washington Steele with a return of 40 yards to give Glenbard West good field position after a costly fumble led to Wheaton's touchdown. You can see a very short drive set up by the fumble.
That's right. 3 plays, 2 yards, 6 points. Nice job by Pierre Washington Steele there. Nick Imicus almost got the ball into the end zone, but the Hilltoppers now have excellent field position as they start their next drive.
Tyler Warden, the toss, now the handoff on the reverse. Trying to get around is Nick Borello. Pierre Washington Steele first got the toss, then handed it to Borello, and it's dropped for a loss on the play, a loss of 5.
See the reverse. Pierre Washington Steele hands off to Borello, but Wheaton South does a great job of staying at home. His number 43, Ross Katina, defensive lineman, plays his position well. Good look at Ross Katina.
The Wheaton Warrenville South team came into this game tonight plus 20 for the year in takeaway giveaways, meaning they've taken it away 20 more times than they've given it away. Warden drops straight back. Quick pass, a nice inside move by Nick Borello, and he picks up a lot of yards. Looks like he picks up 13. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
That was actually a slip screen there. It looked like JT Mesh on it, number 9. Went inside, and they like that slip screen. The key is if the blockers from the inside can work to the outside and make some kick-out blocks after the catch.
Under a minute now for the opening quarter. Straight ahead, Adam Brewer on the carry. Gets to the 50-yard line. Looks like he has enough for the first down.
The Hilltoppers like to use Adam Brewer to the inside. He broke out on a big run against the Lake Zurich Bears last week. They like the inside trap to him straight ahead. He's usually good for some yardage, and if he gets in the open field, he has excellent speed.
Yeah, he had a 76-yard touchdown against Lake Zurich and 145 yards for the day. As you look at Tyler Warden.
Chad Hetlett sending in the offensive plays.
First down for the Hilltoppers. Second set of Hilltoppers we've had here today. Glenbard West looking for better luck. Joliet Catholic knocked off by Montini by 1 point. Sweeping around is Nick Borello. Borello is able to get it to the 45-yard line and picks up 5.
Nick Borello has excellent breakaway speed. We'll have a chance to see Borello working to his right here. Little stiff arm there. And excellent support on the outside, though, by number 25, Shane Durking.
Yeah, he went head over heels.
Yeah, and his brother was a real good running back. Dan Durking was at Purdue, and, of course, Scott Durking, the father.
Yeah, Dad wasn't too bad.
Yeah, he was pretty good himself. So.
All right, the end of one quarter, 7-0. Wheaton Warrenville South. Back with this after our local stations. Too many years ago. Still make great pizzas. And we got early motion and encroachment by the Tiger defense, it looks like, and it'll give Glenbard West 5 yards.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Unlike the Sunday game, you don't have to make contact. Once you come across into the neutral zone, play stops, and that's the penalty. First and short yardage. Handoff goes to Brewer, and he picks up a first down to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards, and a very nice drive as we take a look at our stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Well, the rushing yardage is pretty equal, and the turnover situations.
Do we have a couple of different
West.
schools there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a flashback.
Hey,
that's our next game.
Could be Back to the Future.
Well, a little give back here on the penalty situation by the Hilltoppers. They're trying to work their way in to 4 for 10 territory.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
So they give the 5 yards back that they had picked up on the encroachment. Second penalty against Glenbard West. 1 penalty thus far in the game for Wheaton. A rivalry that began back in 1916. One practice game, a report that Wheaton beat Glenbard 84-0. Some guy named Grange was playing in that game, they say. Here's a nice quick out to the near side, and with it is Borello, and he's close to the first down, stopped at the 32-yard line. Make that JT Mesh on the reception, a gain of 8.
JT Mesh on that swing pass. Tyler Warden hits him, working to the outside. Borello was up front there doing stalk blocking. Nice gain on the play. And the Hilltoppers have a very important 3rd and 3 here. This is a real important drive for Glenbard West in this football game. They need to establish some offense.
Straight ahead, first down yardage for Brewer, who's been their short yardage specialist. Every time it's been short yards, 2, 3, 1 yard, that's who's been getting the call. A carry of 7 yards and a fresh set of downs for Glenbard West.
Nice surge on the right side of that offensive line. Hilltoppers not quite as big up front offensively as the Tigers, but at 255 and 275, that's hardly small on the right side.
Certainly not petite. Clock running, 10:20 remaining in the second quarter. A 7-0 lead for Wheaton Warrenville South. This is Washington Steele. Pierre Washington Steele has got great speed, but he's corralled at the 25-yard line. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Trying to find a way through there, picking his way through the line of scrimmage, but right now there's real strong safety and secondary support for the Tigers, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Chad Etlett call a play-action pass, possibly of some kind, maybe a bootleg or a waggle.
This is the 9th play of the drive that began at Glenbard's 40-yard line. Tyler Warden sends Washington Steele in motion. Play action fake, throwing over the middle and overthrowing J.T. Mesh, who had single coverage, and he was heading towards the near pylon, but it's incomplete.
Good play action technique, but it's well covered. Warden puts the ball over the outside area, but he sails it. As number 4, Zach Ackerman had good coverage on the play at cornerback.
Stops the clock with 9:26 remaining. Glenbard West looking here to even up the score. Their own fumble led to the game's only touchdown, and we've got a timeout called. Timeout taken by the Hilltoppers. We will take a timeout as we hear from our network stations. Meetings before or after the game. 3rd and 10 for Glenbard West. Nice bootleg, trying to put it up, and it is tipped around incomplete. Looking for Borello. Also downfield was Will Caspers, who was a little bit deeper on the pattern.
The play action fake to Pierre Washington Steele. Tyler Warden looking over the middle. I'll tell you what, that under coverage was there once again. And the Hilltoppers were fortunate that that ball was not picked off there. Strong safety, Joe Krob.
Yeah, Krob is there with the,
nice job.
Should have had that.
Yep.
So it brings up 4th and 10. And Glenbard West does have a pretty good field goal kicker, but right here they're going to go for it. Warden in the pocket. Looks like he wanted to run, and then he is brought down at the 27-yard line by a host of Tigers, including linebacker Tom LaBelle, and that play just didn't seem to have anything from the get-go.
No, and Tyler Warden stepped up in the pocket. He's fairly mobile, but I'll tell you what, the Tiger defense is very mobile, and they closed in around him and swallowed him up. And that was an opportunity for the Hilltoppers, and now Wheaton Warrenville South has the football.
When you out-quick East St. Louis, you've got some quicks of your own. 1st and 10. Riley O'Toole with 3 wideouts to the left side, just gets rid of it as he was about to get drilled. He was looking for Jason Shulman, and he just had to unload it in a hurry.
He was. There was a lot of pressure there. Look at Tommy Shutt, number 85. Coming up field, there's Tommy Shutt hitting him right on the release. And too much pressure that time for Riley O'Toole.
Justin Mesh also providing some pressure, bringing up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. They lead 7-0. 9:08 remaining in the first half. Still one more game to go following this. Defending state champion 8A Maine South against Marist. Play action fake O'Toole. Rolling out. Overthrows a wide open man. He had Steve Kamiatek wide open. Kamiatek with some big catches in the win over St. Rita.
Tim Hollywood, outside linebacker, was underneath us, and Marston on top. As Kamiatek, who was returned after being injured, that ball was sailed that time, as you see under and over coverage. Kamiatek, quite a story. He was injured early, and in fact, that's Mac Tracy was supposed to be the starting quarterback, moved to wide out because of that, and that gave Riley O'Toole a chance to be the quarterback this year.
O'Toole, 13 of 17, 195 yards last weekend against East St. Louis. Out of the shotgun. And a missed assignment. Somebody ran the wrong route. It's intercepted by Glenbard West at the 36-yard line.
Well,
He's going right to him.
Well, under coverage again, and that's only he's looking off, He goes, O'Toole goes to the outside, but right underneath coverage there by Justin Mesh, outside linebacker, got in the throwing lane, and there's a big turnover. Let's see if the Hilltoppers can take advantage of it. I know Coach Ellyn occasionally will call a play action pass after a first down like that, but we'll see.
Looked like one of the receivers decided to make a go route down the near side instead of coming back in and curling. And that looked like that ball went right to Mesh. So it's 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Glenbard West would like to take advantage of a turnover. Around to the near side and tight-roping the sidelines. Nick Borello, he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line after picking up 4 yards.
Nick Borello's got a lot of breakaway speed, and we'll see on the replay here. He runs out of room, got a pulling lineman, uses a good stiff arm, downfield blocking, but the sideline is his enemy, and inside-out pursuit is excellent, forcing him out of bounds.
He's rushed for 460-plus yards and a 10.3 per carry average entering tonight's game. 2nd and 5 for the Hilltoppers. Cutting up the middle, Adam Bruer. Had some room to work with as he gets to the 28-yard line. Picks up 3, bringing up a 3rd down.
We're tough on the inside game. You know, we mentioned Nick Borello against Rockford Guilford in the first playoff game this year. He sustained a shoulder injury and had to sit out and has now gotten back in the mix. So a lot of these guys who've rehabbed and done a good job, just like Kamayatek for the Tigers, they're back in the mix in the biggest game of their life.
The playoffs gave him time to get well. 3rd and 2. Keeping it is Steve Jones. He's not big in stature, but boy, he's quick. He gets to the 26, and I think he's got enough for the 1st down.
It's close. Jones is an inside runner, a slasher, a hard-nosed runner, takes care of the football, usually gets a few yards after contact. Trying to get a little stretch on that. There's a nice look at Tom LaBelle there, as well as his teammate.
They're going to bring in the chains.
Jack Eshelman, who made a nice play early in the game.
Referee Octavio Herrera Jr. of Naperville will overlook the stretching of the chains. Sounds like a festival some weekend. The stretching of the chain. Let's see. Looks like they're short. Inches short. Maybe an inch short.
Yep. The length of a turkey wing, maybe. Not a drumstick.
Oh,
you know he's going to go for it. Here's Coach Ellyn.
I like when you coaches bring out the technical terms.
Both squads are very fortunate of the great surface they're playing on here. We'll see what the Hilltoppers come up with. Tyler Warden at 6'6".
Glenbard
West. With a sneak.
They've been playing in the slot most of the year. Very rainy football season. 4th and inches. Warden directly under center. Keeps it, has the 1st down with room to spare to the 25-yard line. And fresh set of downs for the Hilltoppers.
Went to the left guard center gap on the left side, and like we said, he extended himself, and of course the spot's always big in that situation. 1st down for the Hilltoppers.
Plus he is able to use that tall, lanky 6'6" frame of his.
I was watching through my binoculars Sparticino. They call him Spartacus, number 33, a great wrestler, 5'6", 140, but what a menace he is on the interior.
I am Spartacus. Sweeping around, Nick Borello, penalty marker thrown at the end of the play. As Borello back to the line of scrimmage. Let's sort out the laundry. Eshelman making the tackle for the Tigers. And it's going to be offsides against Glenbard West. Pick up their 3rd penalty of the football game. It cost them 5.
Center Tommy Nallen talking to the official, seeing what the issue was.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense. 15-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Misread the preliminary indication. Wow,
that's costly.
That's more than that's a 15-yarder.
That's very costly. Usually between tackle to tackle, you're allowed to hit a guy low. I don't know where that occurred.
So it'll bring up now 1st and 25. Borello is wide of the top of the screen. Play action fake. Warden has a man wide open, stretching out to try to make the catch. Mark Hibben couldn't bring it in. I mean, he stretched out all 6 foot 2 inches, just could not bring it in. He was the big hero catching the winning touchdown last week.
There's the throw to Mark Hibben. He sure laid out for this ball. And as he hit the ground, the ball came out. Tyler Warden had a wide open receiver. He put that ball on a rope. Nice effort there by Hibben. A nice call.
I still don't know how Hibben got open with 6 seconds to go last week, but he did, and he caught the game winner, and that's why Glenbard West is here. 2nd and 25. Out of the shotgun, Warden with plenty of time. Throws. Caught at the 31-yard line. Caught by J.T. Mesh.
J.T. Mesh, a senior receiver there, has come up with some big catches as we see Tyler Warden working over to his right. Nice grab by Mesh. Tight coverage as number 25, Shane Durking, wraps him up.
Gain of 12 should bring up 3rd and 13. Reverse that. There's a gain of 13, so it'll be 3rd and 12. Clock running with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Warden sets up, throws. Hibben the diving catch. Did he catch it?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did at the 12-yard line, and a first down for Glenbard West.
And you cannot defend that kind of ball. It's low. Look at Mark Hibben get down with that football. What great concentration. And this young man's quite a story. You know, he didn't really make an appearance until the playoffs against St. Charles North. He was such a good practice player that he kept doing so many good things. They wanted to get him on the field, and it just shows you if you keep working hard, you improve, you can really make a big impact for your team.
And he has been in the playoffs. And we had early motion. Looked like perhaps the right guard, right tackle may have moved early. And it'll cost him 5.
Too many flags for the Hilltoppers here, that's for sure. And I know Coach Chad Hetlett is not happy about that. Coach John Sigmund played at University of Wisconsin, coaches that O-line.
Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Both these teams have outstanding offensive and defensive line coaches. Right now, the guys have to really get locked in on the cadence.
1st and 15, 4 penalties now against Glenbard West. A running play straight up the gut. Brewer gets the ball to the 15-yard line and picks up 3.
There's no clean trap going on there right now. Wheaton is so well coached on the interior, but Brewer, there's a coach, Muhich, taking a look at the inside. And, of course, Ron Muhich, coach with John Thorne back in '88. Wheaton South got it really going, I know that. And Coach Muhich back at that time was the defensive coordinator.
Ron was one of our expert analysts between games and during halftime of the telecast a year ago. I think he's a lot happier down on the sidelines here tonight. Play action fake as Warden rolls out. Leaping catch made by J.T. Mesh, and he takes it down to the 7-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and short, a gain of 7.
Hilltoppers are gaining some yards now and executing. If they could just not put the penalties in with a mixture. Mesh has really been a great receiver this season, made a lot of big catches. And right now, they're looking at the Hilltoppers are looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Mesh now with 3 catches for 32 yards, as you see at the top of the screen. 3rd down and 5. Hibben, I should say Tyler Warden, throwing into the end zone, incomplete, looking for Will Caspers.
Boy, that ball, Will Caspers almost had it, and great defensive play by number 25, Shane Durking. You see the drop back. Ball's thrown on the money. Durking takes a good angle, and he pulls on the arm right on as that ball hit Will Casper's hands. We're in a situation here now where the Hilltoppers will try a field goal. Tim Hollowood's an excellent field goal kicker. He's got the win, and good choice.
24-yard field goal. He's 3 of 3 thus far this year, and his longest was 34. The hold will be Chris Cavanaugh. And the kick is good. Glenbard West on the board with 4:15 to go in the second quarter. They trail 7-3 as we now hear from our network sponsors. Glenbard West getting on the board with the 24-yard field goal. 7-3 game. As now Tim Hollowood will kick it off. Taking a yard deep in the end zone, but it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
That's a weapon for both of these football teams. Imicus and Hollowood able to kick the ball in the end zone. As we see 11 plays, 29 yards. That was a back and forth type of situation. Tim Hollowood gets a field goal, and right now Jeremy Cordell, the defensive coordinator, has to come up with a scheme to try to shut down this Wheaton South offense.
McAndrew wide to the far side, and Tracy wide to the bottom of your screen. Keeping it is O'Toole after the fake to Matt Rogers, and he picks up 2 yards to the 22.
Time of possession's been interesting in this football game. The Hilltoppers 11.5 minutes. Wheaton Warrenville South 8:13. Fairly close in possession time, and the half will be on us in 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Right now, the Tigers need to get a couple first downs, and so they don't give the Hilltoppers a short field.
O'Toole, the pocket breaks down, and he takes off. Penalty marker is thrown. O'Toole runs out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and I think we're going to have a hold.
I think we're going to have a hold. There goes good coverage downfield, and pass rush flushed Riley O'Toole out to the outside. And you see a flag thrown like that in the backfield, it's often a holding call.
So they'll spot it from the spot of the file.
Holding on the offense. Half the distance. Repeat second down.
That's not the kind of field position that Coach Muhich wanted there, as we see Matt Alley, Joe Kish there, his wide receiver coach. Matt Alley, a former quarterback for the Tigers.
Just the second penalty for Wheaton Warrenville South. O'Toole will throw from the end zone. Gets it out on the far side to McAndrew. McAndrew brought down from behind at the 22-yard line. He picks up 15 on the reception, and will bring up a 3rd and 8.
Joe Ceruto, the nickel back in there right now, made a nice tackle because McAndrew's very shifty and quick after the catch. He gets a lot of yards after the catch. And as we mentioned, his cousin played for the Hilltoppers a few years ago, Tom McAndrew.
McAndrew against St. Rita, 7 receptions for 88 yards.
Yep, big difference maker in that ball game.
And he had a 42-yard touchdown reception against Geneva.
3rd and 9, big down for both teams.
4 wideouts with 1 going in motion. That's Kamayata. And nowhere to go for O'Toole. He is sacked back at the 12-yard line. Looks like Shutt was in there on the stop. A loss of 14 on the play.
A lot of pressure off the edges also. Here's number 6, Mesh involved. Number 16, Hollywood, they brought people.
Timeout, Glenbard West.
Andy Ellyn, the nose tackle, also helping on the tackle, and a timeout taken by the Hilltoppers with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Well, we've mentioned Hollywood and Imicus as kickers, both very good kickers. The thing is, they don't get real nervous when they get in there to kick because they're playing all the time. You know, it's not like they're on the sideline. Hollywood's an outside linebacker, Imicus an offensive guard, and real big play there. The Hilltoppers look to get a short field.
Earlier today, Montini stunned everybody. Didn't go for the game tire. With them a couple of minutes ago, they went for 2 and beat Joliet Catholic. Cary Grove picked up its first state title in football with a win, an impressive one over Providence. And coming up later, defending 8A champ Maine South takes on the upcoming Marist Ball Club. 4th down, 17. And back to kick is Imicus. Gets a good one, taken and running out of bounds with it immediately was Borello, a 36-yard punt. And with 2:22 remaining, Glenbard West with good field position to perhaps score an equalizer or take the lead before halftime.
Good field position for the Hilltoppers, and they do have a lot of time left as far as being able to get on the board. Need to mix in their running game as well as their passing game as Coach Ellyn talks with quarterback Tyler Warden and sends in the play. Both these coaches, head coaches, call the offense and elect there to, well, I'll tell you what, these guys are lucky, these Tigers are lucky about the weather, aren't they, those fans?
Yeah, Speedos on the 28th of November. And whistles blow, looks like early motion. That play stopped just as they got it underway, and it's going to cost another 5 yards. 5th penalty against Glenbard. They've been penalized for 30 yards.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
A little sloppy the offense right now on these nagging penalties.
There's Coach Mark Jackson there, defensive coordinator with his arms folded. He's done a great job with his defenses this year. Looking for the turnover. You mentioned the turnover ratio for Wheaton Warrenville South. They're a plus 20 this season.
Plus 20, yeah. Borello's the man in motion. A quick drop and the pass out to JT Mesh. He turns it inside to the 42-yard line. Tackled on the play by Michael Wheaton, the linebacker. A 14-yard gain.
Nice concentration there by JT Mesh. Tyler Warden opening up. Nice straight lace ball right on the chest. Good execution on that play. Wheaton South, of course, very aware of the clock. Will give him that short route. Does not want to give up the long pass.
2nd and 3 coming up now for Glenbard.
Empty backfield.
Somehow he got away. Tyler Warden still on his feet and drives down to the 27-yard line. He's tough to bring down. He showed great balance. A 15-yard run for Tyler Warden. It looked like he was going to get stopped for no gain.
Really did. We saw him twist and turn. Tyler Warden, nice little move to the inside. Puts the hand down. Keeps very elusive for a big guy. 6'6", 215 pounds. Very similar to Riley O'Toole when he gets in trouble. Can scramble for extra yardage.
Minute 24 remaining in the half. Corello trying to cut it. Stopped at the 25-yard line. A gain of 2 for Nick Borello.
Number 93. Dominic DeAngelis in on that play. Getting some time there. Number 93 in the D-line. 1 minute left. Hilltoppers need to really expedite the situation here, get things moving. They've got 1 timeout remaining, the Hilltoppers.
JT Mesh and Borello wide to the bottom of your screen. Washington Steele in motion. Coming up, throwing. Tyler Warden's got a man open and he overthrew him. Looked like he was expecting Borello to head to the near pylon. Borello instead made a zag back towards the middle.
Yeah, it looked like a wheel route to me. There was a curl pattern and out and up on the outside. Timing was off on it. And Pierre Washington Steele is a guy that the Hilltoppers would like to get his hands on the football a little bit more often before this football game is over. And look at Coach Chad Hitlett, who's done a great job here at Glenbard West.
Came after spending a year as Mike DiMattio's assistant for 1 year at Hinsdale Central. Warden throwing to the far side, and it's off the hands across the way of JT Mesh. 35 seconds to go and a 4th down coming up.
Well, we're fourth at about 9 yards to go.
Hitlett with head coaching experience, 1 year at Johnsburg and a couple of years at McHenry. And when Mike DiMattio left Lake Zurich to go to Hinsdale Central, he joined him. And then the opening occurred at Glenbard West, and he's been very impressive in his 3 years. His team's 25-1 the last 2 years. Tyler Warden getting hit from the backside, and the pass incomplete at the 20. It was intended for Caspers with a bell on the coverage, and the ball goes over to Wheaton, Warrenville South on down.
Mark Jackson likes what he sees there, and there's really good pressure from the backside there. Number 57, Will Davis, 6'3", 185-pound junior. They put a speed rush team in there. And the Hilltoppers come up empty with no points, and there's 30 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Glenbard still with about a 3-minute edge in time of possession. O'Toole will keep it, has a seam, and drives to the 30-yard line as he picks up 4.
Just goes to show you, here's two football teams that are putting up 40-some points on the board, and you know what? Look at these defenses.
I'm not surprised at all that we have a low-scoring game. In fact, somebody asked me out back, and I said, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because the way these two defenses have played this year.
No doubt about it. And that's the first half, Tom.
That's it.
Sparring match.
7-3 in favor of Wheaton Warrenville South. They capitalized on a Glenbard fumble. Glenbard really was its own worst enemy offensively with penalties and turnovers in the first half. Glenbard getting on the board with a 24-yard field goal and a 4-point game in the battle for the 7A state championship with 2 quarters of football left to go here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. And a beautiful, beautiful night for state championship football. And we're glad you're with us here on the IHSA TV network. Coming up, the 8A battle between Maine South and Marist. Marist with an impressive victory in the last second, a field goal over Glenbard North last week. Let's go down to the sidelines. Aaron.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Wheaton Warrenville South head coach Ron Muhich. His team up 7-3 heading into halftime. Coach, your defense has been stout all season. They have been so far again tonight. 2 big turnovers and 2 big stops on 4th down. Have you been pleased with the play of your defense so far?
Absolutely, and we're testing them too much. We got to get them off the field. We had a great drive in that first drive, but you have to take care of the football and got to get the defense off the field a little bit.
Yeah, what do you tell you guys at halftime? How do you get this offense going in the second half?
Well, we're going to have to mix it up a little bit more with the pass and run like we did on the opening drive. We've got Glenbard's doing a good job defensively, keeping the pressure on us with some blitzes, and we got to get our pass pro in order at halftime here.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. Head coach Ron Muhich, his team up 4 heading into half, guys.
Thank you, Aaron Bennett. Coming up, our halftime from Memorial Stadium after we hear from your local stations.
Welcome back. It's halftime of our 7A state title game as Wheaton Warrenville South leads Glenbard West 7-3. We're visiting now with the executive director of the Champaign County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Jane DeLuce. A lot of the fans love to see the high school football here in town. It's great football. It's a great venue, but I know a lot of businesses love having this event in town as well.
Absolutely. It's great for our hotels. It's great for all the restaurants, the malls, everywhere. A lot of people really enjoy the full experience of coming down for the championships.
And Tent City, always a big attraction the week of the championship. For fans who maybe don't know a whole lot about that, can you kind of explain what the attraction is about Tent City?
Tent City is a great atmosphere. What we do is we have a main entertainment tent, and this year we've got mechanical bull full face painting, cotton candy, that's been very popular, popcorn, tattoos, all sorts of things. And then each of the teams have their own team tent, and they're able to use that the entire day, both on Friday and on Saturday. And what they do there, they can cook out, we do a big decorating contest, and then we pair off the different bracket teams and award a plaque to each bracket on their decorating and team spirit. It's a lot of fun. It's a great atmosphere. With the warm weather this weekend, it has been absolutely crazy. A lot of fun.
Yeah, no question about that. Can you give our viewers kind of an idea of what's coming up around Champaign County that they might be interested in coming down and checking out?
Well, the biggest thing probably coming up in the world of sports would be the shootout. That is the second week in December. We've got premier teams from all over, a lot of Illinois recruits, a lot of people, premier basketball happening at the Assembly Hall. It's a one-day event, and it's a great atmosphere for people coming down. Arts-wise, other things, there's always a lot to do. I think, we have the World Fine Granite Art Center. We have a lot to do in this town.
Jane, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. She's the daughter, by the way, of legendary voice of the Illini, Jim Turpin. Jane, thank you very much. We're back right after this.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois. It's a pretty tight ball game, not a lot of offense in the first half. Wheaton Warrenville South with the 7-3 lead over Glenbard West. Lee Hall along with Addison Trail coach Paul Parpet. And on our far left, Gary Corhonen from Richards, 306 career wins, all-time leader in Illinois high school history. Not a lot to talk about offensively there in the first half, Coach. 7-3 our score.
Well, I think what should be said is that Glenbard West's defense has been putting a lot of pressure on O'Toole, the quarterback for Wheaton Warrenville South. And Glenbard West has had the better field position for the entire first half, but only came away with 3 points.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Glenbard West 3 times on the ball, and with a short field, only got 3 points out of it. And you look at these statistics right here. Riley O'Toole, 3 for 7 for 30. Tyler Warden, 5 for 13 for 58 yards. Adam Brule, who had 155 yards in the last game against Lake Zurich, 5 carries, 20 yards. These offenses remind me of 2 boxers in a corner in a heavyweight match coming out and feeling each other out, and nobody's willing to make a move.
There's our Menards halftime stats. Save big money at Menards. Glenbard West, 88 rushing yards, only 47 for Wheaton Warrenville South. Passing yards, the edge to Glenbard West, 2 turnovers to 1. And there you get a look at some of the other stats. 3 for 8 on third down for Glenbard West, 2 for 5 for Wheaton Warrenville South. But not a lot of points to show for it. Glenbard West, 1 for 3 on fourth down conversions, and they turned that into a field goal to get on the board late in the half there.
Well, the turnover by Glenbard West at the 2-yard line served big. That gave Wheaton Warrenville an opportunity, because Wheaton Warrenville, instead of going for the 3, went for, and on fourth down, and it did not convert. Glenbard gets the football, and they turn it right back over to Wheaton Warrenville, and that's what allowed Wheaton Warrenville to take the lead, 7-3.
Yeah, actually, when you really get down to it, Ron Muhich's aggressiveness in this game, not wanting to kick a field goal, but rather trying for this touchdown. He was rewarded for a touchdown in terms of what they're hanging on to right now.
I'm disappointed in Coach Muhich. I really am. He was in your seat the last year or so and didn't give us any credit for getting back to state.
I think he's got a little bit more on his mind than you, Mr. Hall.
I was talking about the both of us. All right, let's take a look at our first half highlights. There weren't very many of them in the first half for either squad. And here you get a look at Glenbard South. Glenbard West, rather, I should say. And that is Nick Borello with the lengthy run there.
Well, they started out with the good kickoff return, and then Glenbard went to the pass on their first play from scrimmage, and that's what gave Wheaton Warrenville the opportunity to drive the ball.
And there's the fumble right on the goal line. Boy, there's no good place to fumble, but that is a really bad spot, and that set up a 1-yard dive by Julian Benuelos from a yard out. A little bit of a Walter Payton, tried to go Walter Payton there in the air. That was a 7-0 lead, and then the field goal that came later. Here's Glenbard West with the pickoff there.
Right.
Justin Mesh with the interception. And here's the field goal, 24-yarder from Tim Hollowed capped off an 11-play, 29-yard. That can't be right. 11-play, 29-yard drive. That can't be right.
Well, there was a penalty in there.
There was a penalty in there.
A couple of penalties.
Right.
Where actually,
a lot of back and forth.
Actually, they got knocked back with 2 penalties, and Tyler Warden hit on 2 consecutive passes to set him up for that.
All right, well, that did make it 7-3. I didn't trust my own writing there. Thanks for backing me up, guys. All right, 7-3 our score. Wheaton Warrenville South with the lead over Glenbard West, and we are back after this local timeout. 7-3 our halftime score. It's Wheaton Warrenville South. The Tigers leading the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West 7-3. And we are back high above Memorial Stadium. Lee Hall, Paul Parpet, and Gary Korhonich. And let's take a look at some of the keys. Coach Korhonen, let's take a look at the keys to this ball game. Glenbard West. Or is that Coach Parpet, you're going to take
I'll
that
take
one?
Glenbard West.
All right.
Glenbard West has a stable of running backs. You know, they've got 6 ball carriers that they counted on all year long. They need to continue to feed those players, keep them fresh, and hit those creases. The other thing is they have to pressure the quarterback. They have to continue to pressure the quarterback. Pressuring the quarterback is the best pass defense you can have, and they cannot turn the ball over. They have to just continue to do what they do.
All right, Coach Korhonen, let's go to the keys of the game for Wheaton Warrenville South.
Yeah, I think Wheaton Warrenville South could afford to load up the box a little bit more. You know, they're playing kind of loose. The quarterback Riley O'Toole's got to make a little better decisions, or let's say what he's capable of making. You know, the young man has passed for nearly 2,000 yards this year, and 3 for 7, 30 yards is not a typical Riley O'Toole half. And then win the kicking game, which I really think they could do with one of the factors here would be Nick Emicus, who's actually kicked 77 kickoffs. He's kicked 60 in the end zone. He kicked a 46-yard field goal at St. Rita that I think is still going right now. I've seen him kick, and also their fine punter Matt Tracy too, who really set up that St. Rita win. So it's going to have to be there's going to have to be a little bit more wide open in the second half here.
Coach, what do you see both teams maybe making adjustment-wise here at halftime?
Well, if I'm Glenbard West, I would just keep putting the pressure on Riley O'Toole, you know, because he cannot throw the football if he's got people hanging on him or in his face. Offensively, Glenbard's got to convert when they get good field position. They had 3 times in the ball inside their 50-yard line and came out of there with only 3 points. They have to capitalize when they have the shorter field.
Coach, what do you see key for second and a half?
You know, actually, when you get down to it, Glenbard West had 146 yards in the first half. That's not a bad first half, you know, but when you get down to Wheaton South, you know, having 77 yards, you know, they obviously have to come more than that. And the good old defense is, you know, you win championships with a good kicking game and good defenses, and if you win, you know, if you score, then that's fine. But that's Wheaton's hanging their hat right now on their defense and their kicking game.
What's going to be key? How do these teams break out of this kind of deadlock here we saw in the first half?
Well, Wheaton Warrenville is going to have an answer for those edge rushers that they're getting against, Glenbard West in their passing game. I don't think that Wheaton Warrenville is going to be, running the ball down Glenbard West's throat. They're going to have to throw the football, but they're going to have to protect the quarterback. So they're going to have an answer for picking up those blitzes, especially the edge blitzers.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, when I saw Wheaton South play St. Rita. They went in that game with the mind that they were going to throw the football. They made no bones about it, So I think that's what's going to have to happen more, along with mixing up with a run.
All right, we're looking forward to second half action here from Memorial Stadium. 7-3, Wheaton Warrenville South, the lead over Glenbard West. Back after this on the IHSA TV network.
Welcome back. We're about 2 minutes from kickoff of the second half as Wheaton Warrenville South leads Glenbard West 7-3. Joining me now is Glenbard West head coach Chad Hetland. Coach, your defense has really kept you in this game. You've put a lot of pressure on Wheaton Warrenville South quarterback Riley O'Toole. What's been the key for your defense in stopping their offense so far?
Well, again, we've been stout against the run as well, forcing them to throw the ball and put them in situations where they've had to pass the ball. And we've been able to pursue them and pursue the quarterback and, again, reroute the receivers quite a bit.
What's the key for you guys offensively to kind of solve this rough, tough Tiger D?
You know what? I mean, I thought we controlled most of the first half. It's ourselves. We're beating ourselves right now. I mean, they're a great defense, but you know what? We're a great offense. We need to just break through that end zone and start executing a little bit better. Drop balls, penalties are killing us.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. Glenbard West head coach Chad Hetland, his team needs to get some offense going, guys.
Indeed. You know, he talked about the fact is that Glenbard West is perhaps its own worst enemy in the first half, especially with the 5 penalties. Plus, of course, the turnover. And just the timing just doesn't seem to be right there in terms of what you would expect 14 games into the season.
Well, that's exactly right. And both Coach Muhich and Coach Hetland want to see better performance out of the offensive side on the offensive side of the football. Both these defensive coordinators have to be very happy with the way their team's playing. Coach Jackson's defense is really playing very well for Wheaton South. And Jeremy Cordell, the defensive coordinator for the Hilltoppers, his defense is playing very well. What might get this thing going is just that breakout play to change momentum. And I'm not sure what team that's going to be by what I saw in the first half.
Wheaton Warrenville South held to 3.2 yards per snap in the first half. Glenbard West with a 2-to-1 edge in total offense in the first half and a 3-minute edge in time of possession, but trails on the scoreboard 7-3 thanks to that fumble at the 1-yard line for the Hilltoppers that was cashed in upon by the Tigers. And of course the Tigers, you wonder if they don't try to bring the ghost himself back to his old stadium. We're talking about the Galloping Ghost. You see number 77 on the side of the Wheaton Warrenville helmets. That is, of course, the most famous 77 in football, Red Grange, who was the Wheaton Iceman, played at Wheaton Community High School, came to Illinois in 1923, and still the legendary game that he had in October of 24, the dedication game for the stadium, running for 5 touchdowns, passing for a 6th against Fielding Yost's Michigan Ball Club.
Well, that's true, and they've got a new statue right out here in front of Red Grange. And actually, Wheaton South, when they moved down from Wheaton Central in '92, they named the field after Red Grange, and the Glenbard West field is named after legendary coach Bill Duchan, who I had the privilege of working with and coaching with, who took his team down in '76 to the state championship game and lost 22-21 in overtime to St. Lawrence. All of that's history. Right now, we need to get into this game, and something's got to give, right, Tom? One side or the other.
That's how the song goes. Tim Holloway will kick.
And he's going to kick into the wind, so he probably won't get it in the end zone, and Wheaton South is going to get a return here. And so they'll have the wind and the ball here in the third quarter, which is helpful.
Kern is at his own 5 for Wheaton, and he scoops it up on the run at the 14. Kern runs into his own man and falls down at the 26-yard line. About a 23-yard return, call it 25, and it's 1st and 10 now for Riley O'Toole and the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers.
Jack Marston covering on that play as well. Number 2 did a nice job, and Marston is a cover man in that secondary. There's Tim Holloway, outside linebacker and kicker.
Tigers with the 7-3 lead, as O'Toole will work from the shotgun on the first snap of the second half. Hands it off to Banuelos, and the hole filled immediately by Connor Loftus. That's just a textbook job of what a linebacker does right there. You can take that and show it over and over again.
That's what you call middle linebacker play, and Banuelos, you know, he wasn't excited about how he got thrown back, but there's a host of tacklers there, and Connor Loftus at 6'2", 225 pounds, is full of enthusiasm in the middle there.
There have been a few good middle linebackers that have played in the stadium, guys like Butkus, Nitschke, Dana Howard.
8 at the 30-yard line.
2nd down and 8. Glenbard West showing blitz, and they're coming. But he rolls out, O'Toole does, and will run out of bounds, forced out of bounds by Connor Loftus.
Riley O'Toole, ball carrier.
Good pressure from the inside, and as you mentioned, Tom, number 1, Billy O'Donnell, as a linebacker, was the 5th man on that rush. And we saw Riley O'Toole scramble out to his right, and linebacker Connor Loftus, who was in under coverage, came up to make the play.
It was a gain of 4, and it's a 3rd and 4.
Big down for Wheaton South here, because if they don't get it, they're going to have to punt the football. Huge play early in the 3rd quarter.
Tracy wide of the near side. Back to throw, O'Toole. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Loftus, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown.
What a pick. The pressure on Riley O'Toole. He got hit right as he released the ball. And Connor Loftus stepped underneath that beautifully and went for the touchdown. Here we have Riley O'Toole, and he's going to get hit right as he releases. Connor Loftus steps underneath number 24, Steve Kamayatek, and goes the distance. What a memory for that young man.
3 offensive snaps for Wheaton Warrenville South, and 3 times Glenbard West All-State linebacker was there on the play.
He's got a good feel for the game, and with the 34 ACT, he's highly intelligent out there on the field.
Tim Holloway out of the hold of Chris Cavanaugh. And the kick is good. First lead of the game for Glenbard West. They lead 10-7. We'll be back after we hear from our local stations. Our trivia question brought to you by the Chicago Sun-Times and YourSeason.com, your ultimate source for Chicagoland high school sports. True or false? Glenbard West played in the IHSA's first state playoff series way back in 1974. True or false?
Well, if they've been listening when I was talking about Coach Duchan, I was only an assistant back in those 70s, but they'd know the answer. We just had a big momentum changer. Right now, again, Wheaton Warrenville South's going to get the wind at their back in the football.
Here's the kick from Holloway. It bounces by Kern into the end zone. Yeah, but back then, Coach Duchan was grooming you for greatness.
Tigers start their drive, 20-yard line.
All right, now let's see how the Tigers respond. Let's take a look at the answer. True or false? Flip a coin. What's the answer? True. Coach Bill Duchan, they were 8-2, 1974. There were 5 classes back then.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tell you that is incorrect. It was 1976. In 74, Harold Samorian's Glenbrick North team beat East St. Louis.
Sam Samorian.
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
I lived it.
And nothing doing at all for Banuelos. Just trying to get back to the 20-yard line, the line of scrimmage. And no gain on the play, second down.
The energy level at the line of scrimmage has even picked up a little bit more than it was in the first half. As we said in the opening, these groups of seniors played against each other as freshmen in their first football game, and here in their last half of football, they're going against each other in the state championship game. Exciting stuff.
Second down and 10. The toss and the sweep. Carrying it to the near side. Looks like that is Matt Rogers. It is Rogers. But that was a hard-fought 3 yards on the play.
There's a lot of bodies coming on the toss sweep. Tim Holloway, though, gets outside, constricts the hold of the inside, and again, Connor Loftus and company, inside-out pursuit. And about a 2-yard gain there for the Tigers on the toss sweep. Coach Muhich trying to mix in the run and the pass. He doesn't want to be one-dimensional here in the second half. Big 3rd down and 8 play for Riley O'Toole.
Out of the shotgun in the full spread formation. O'Toole steps up, throws. Hauled in by Jason Schumann. And he's down at the 41-yard line, way more than they needed for the first down. A 19-yard catch, 1st and 10, Wheaton.
Riley O'Toole going over the middle. What a target. The ball thrown a little behind him, but Schumann opens up his hips, turns back and catches the ball. Not any under coverage there because the linebackers blitzed. That's what you do sacrifice when you bring people. They were close to Riley O'Toole, but had no under coverage on that play with that big 6-7-inch target there, Jason Schumann.
A lot of guy to throw at right there. O'Toole fakes the handoff and will keep it. He is up to the 44-yard line, trying to cut behind Schumann's block.
Johnny Atkins came in there, number 51, active middle linebacker. We'll have a chance to see Atkins, 51 on this play. Inside fake, but then he works over to the outside and makes a nice tackle at the knees, and that's a good way to bring Riley O'Toole down because he's 6'3". He's a big young man, and he's only a junior.
So the ball is at the 43 of Wheaton Warrenville South. 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers. Snow and Tracy wide to the top of the screen. O'Toole straight back, now steps up as the protection breaks down, and he scrambles to midfield, and a penalty marker thrown at the very tail end of the play.
Not sure what that call is. We'll see. Nice scramble. Looks like it's against the Tigers.
O'Toole picks up 6, but wipe it off. This will be just the 3rd penalty against the Tigers. Illegal block, as you see on the top of your screen, and we'll hear from our referee. Second down coming up, and
2nd and 12. A look at Coach Muhich.
A not very amused coach right there. Brings up 2nd and 12. Screen pass, juggled and dropped at the 40-yard line. Kamiatek in heavy traffic, trying to negotiate his blockers, never found the handle.
And Andy Ellyn, number 56, had a little feel for that screen pass. It came a little too easy. You'll see him working over there. Lays out ball. The screen well played there. Good call, though. There's been a lot of pressure, and one way you beat the pressure is to throw a screen, and they have more than one screen in their arsenal, as do the Hilltoppers.
That's a great way to try to neutralize a very aggressive defense.
Another 3rd down play, 3rd and about 12.
A lot more of these, and it'll be a long night for the Tigers. You can't keep going. 3rd and 12. A long rollout. Throws, Kamiatek dives, makes the catch at the 49-yard line of Glenbard West, and
he had a lot of room out there.
Should be enough for the 1st down.
A rollout to get away from the pass rush. Riley O'Toole's got too much time to throw, and he makes a perfect pinpoint pass there on the out route. Kamiatek really laid out. The coverage was actually good by Mike Lanning, but there's Joe Cush, the receiver coach, with his arms folded. They work on those timing routes all the time.
Kamiatek knew exactly where he had to get to, and it's 1st down for the Tigers. Running play straight ahead, Matt Rogers. Rogers to the 46-yard line, the 5'10 junior. Had 20 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the 2nd round against Geneva, and 111 yards against St. Lawrence in the opening round.
You mentioned Geneva, of course. They had such a great year last year, and in their game with Wheaton South, they were down 23-0, came back 23-17, showed a lot of heart as a football team. Right now, there's a lot of battling going on down in the trenches.
It's a 3-point Glenbard West lead. Tom Olt is the man in motion, number 40. O'Toole comes up, throws, and it is caught, but is it inbounds? Yes. It is inbounds at the 34-yard line by McAndrew, and he picks up 11 yards.
Greg McAndrew, outstanding wide receiver, and that ball is right on the money. They're going for those shorter outside routes, and the timing was there.
Not much the cornerback Corey Olson could do.
Nope, they need to try to reroute the receivers and throw off the timing on those types of time routes. And we saw earlier in the 1st half, Mesh got underneath one of those when Riley O'Toole tried to force it into that outside route. Right now, there's no under coverage on that.
At the Glenbard 34, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. That's Rogers with the lane, slams it down to the 29-yard line, close to a 5-yard pickup.
Outside zone, stretch type of play. Rogers, a very sure-handed ball carrier. Everybody's blocking their outside gap. Tim Holloway falls in on it. Outside linebacker.
In the second half, Wheaton Warrenville South has now raised his average up to almost 4 yards a play. They raised their average 0.7 of a yard, and that shows you they're moving the ball well in this third quarter.
And they're really mixing up the run and the pass, like Coach Muhich had mentioned earlier, and they're eating up a lot of this third quarter.
Whistle stop the action. And we have an equipment situation with Billy O'Donnell of Glenbard West. Blood. Aha.
O'Donnell out, and in comes Andrew Garwood, the first linebacker in on the defense.
He wears number 99. Second down and 6. O'Toole with the shotgun snap. Quickly rolls out, buys some time, but way overthrows his intended receiver, Tracy, who was very, very well covered across the way by Jack Marston.
Marston had real good coverage there, and watch out now for the Tigers to run an out and up. But you know, you've got to challenge those outside routes. You can't let Riley O'Toole continue to pinpoint that pass. And I'll tell you what, Coach Muhich put in at halftime, the rollout pass to get away from that pressure. And with a rollout, there's a run-throw option as well. But it does limit half the field that you can throw to.
O'Toole is 6 of 13 passing right now for 72 yards. Fakes the handoff and rolls out again. He comes up throwing, tipped. Incomplete at the 15-yard line. Broken up nicely on the play by Tim Holloway.
Yep, he's a really outstanding outside linebacker. He's an All-Daily Herald player this year, which is a very nice team to make.
Brings up 4th down for the Tigers.
4th down, and you've got yourself Nick Imicus, who can kick that ball 50 yards with a wind as a field goal if he wants to.
This would be a 47-yard try. Imicus is 9 of 11 this year. His official long field goal for the year, 47. He kicked 2 last week against East St. Louis. The ball's down, the kick on its way. Plenty of length. It's good. And we've got a tie game.
Well, that was a good call. They would like to go for that.
Timeout on the field. We're tied at 10 as we hear from our network sponsors. Watch it again. This is a 47-yard field goal. The only question is, would it stay inside that left upright? And it did. It came back a little bit.
It could have been good from 50-something there, and that's where the wind at your back is a real advantage right now for the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers. They ate up a good chunk of time. There's 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter as we see Nick Imicus. He's an offensive guard. He's full of energy. He's quite an athlete, and he loves to kick the ball. He should get it in the end zone here. If he doesn't, like the one time, Pierre Washington Steele and Nick Borello are back there, a couple burners.
Imicus sends it sailing, and there is no way they'll be able to return it. It goes through the end zone, past Borello. Borello, by the way, you don't want him to have it. He had a 94-yard touchdown kickoff return against Proviso West in the regular season.
And that's a Class 7A record for field goals for Imicus there with a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah, that that drive consumed nearly 6 minutes. 5:09 remaining.
Hilltoppers' chance now to see what they can do on offense.
We're all even at 10. Warden looking to the near side, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Nick Borello, on the near sidelines, covered on the play by Shane Durkee.
Little wheel route, well covered there by the Wheaton Warrenville secondary, and that Shane Durkee, his brother again, was a running back, a great running back for Wheaton South, is doing an excellent job on the defensive side of the football.
The old field goal record, George Smith of Prospect held the 7A title. The longest 33 yards, that one 47. 2nd and 10 coming up for Tyler Warden. Hands on the counter to J.T. Mesh, but not much room at all. A gain of a yard at most.
Not much room at all, and there's a 13-play drive for Wheaton Warrenville South. Took up quite a bit of time. 47-yard field goal, Class 7A record, and we got ourselves a heck of a ball game. 10-10. Kicking game, as we mentioned, turnovers, penalties, good defense. That's what it might come down to, it looks like. Tyler Warden bringing in the play for Coach Chad Hetland.
And for the Tigers, the drive again took nearly 6 minutes, and it was productive. They got points. Had they come up empty, that really makes the clock work against them. But we're all even Steven now at 10-10 with 4:17 to go in the third quarter. And the officials stop the proceedings, and a timeout.
Timeout took a little too long with the play.
Glenbard West with the timeout. Their first time out of the second half, as Chad Hetland will talk it over with his offensive unit.
Coach Chad Hetland likes to spread the ball around to his different ball carriers. There's Devin Finn getting pretty dynamic there. Yeah. Big D lineman. He coaches the D line for Wheaton South. He was on that 95 state championship team later. Played at Illinois State. Got the black hat on. He's getting fired up. And I'm sure the Hilltoppers are glad he's not playing.
With that drive and the field goal, now Wheaton Warrenville South has taken the edge in time of possession by 3 minutes over Glenbard.
And right now, it's kind of, the wind is a little tricky. Like if you look at the goalposts right now, the flags are hanging still. But as we look at the stadium flag, the wind's really coming out of the south. If the Hilltoppers have to punt, get the ball up in the air into the wind, they're not going to have very good field position defensively. They need a first down here.
3rd down and 9 as Warden comes up throwing and threw it in between two intended receivers. In between Mesh and Borello.
Well, he was looking to Nick Borello, who made a couple big catches in that final drive against Lake Zurich last week, but didn't have a shot at that one. And now the Hilltoppers are going to have to punt the football, and Wheaton South might get the ball about midfield based on, there's Tim Holloway. Again, punting. He does the punting as well as kicking. Extra point field goal work for the Hilltoppers.
Bednars and Holloway back deep. And whistles blow. Penalty markers fly.
Dead ball, snap infraction on the offense. Center never released the ball.
Well, that will kind of do things. If the center doesn't snap the football, everybody's illegal motion on the offensive side of the ball when they take off.
There's Coach John Sigmund. He's pretty dramatic there. He's the offensive line coach.
Now Chad Hetland wants an explanation from referee Oscar Herrera, Octavio Herrera Jr. Watch it again, see if we can see. Everybody moved.
It looked like a fake situation there, didn't it?
Boy, it sure did.
Sure did. That wouldn't be a good place to fake right now, I don't think.
Well, sometimes the best results come when things are the most unexpected, and you certainly wouldn't expect a fake that deep in your own end. So now that cost him 5. And Holloway will kick it away. Taken at the 45-yard line, and we got a penalty marker thrown.
Yep. Holloway looks like he's holding his back a little bit. We're going to see what we have here. I was watching the ball downfield in the coverage. Ooh. Roughing the kicker. Huge.
So a couple of, shall we say, unusual penalties coming in this particular attempt by Glenbard West to punt the football.
Crew explaining the options here. Talking to Connor Loftus. We're going to get an explanation here.
Octavio Herrera explaining it. Zach Marshall, now also Connor Loftus. And let's see what they decide to do.
Penalty is running into the kicker. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
I got to repeat it. It wasn't a great punt. Get another shot at it. We'll have a chance to look here. It's number 53. Catching a little of Hollywood's leg. That's Matt Ives, defensive end.
So now we'll try it again for, I guess, the 3rd time. Hollywood gets it away. Bednarz and McAndrew are deep. That's McAndrew, and he's going to return it. McAndrew looking to get to the near side, still on his feet. And it takes 3 Hilltoppers to bring him out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And excellent field position for the Tigers of Wheaton Warrenville South. A 31-yard punt and a 10-yard return.
A nice return by McAndrew, and the Tigers are going to get excellent field position here on the Glenbard West side of the 50-yard line. They've got the wind behind them, and right now the Hilltoppers need to make something happen once again defensively.
Under 4 minutes for the 3rd quarter as we're deadlocked at 10. O'Toole hands it off to Matt Rogers. Rogers had a hole for a moment, but it closed very quickly at the 41-yard line by the Glenbard defense.
Tommy Shutt came from down that line of scrimmage, number 85, a big sophomore. Closed the gap from the right side. He closed down along the line of scrimmage, made the play there.
Normally he had Ward 53 Shutt.
Correct.
But I think they wanted to use him perhaps in some short yardage situations on the other side of the football.
Exactly.
So they had to change his uniform number. As Snow goes wide at the top of the screen, McAndrew to the bottom of the screen, and out of the shotgun is O'Toole as he sprints out. Plenty of time, still time, throws, caught, and falling immediately was Kyle Snow, but he has enough for a 1st down at the 28-yard line, an 11-yard catch.
Snow, the wide receiver here, is right. It throws back to the inside. He makes a great catch, good concentration, and this rollout has been causing the Hilltoppers a little problem.
Officials timeout.
Got a good look there inside as we were talking about Tommy Shutt, sophomore D lineman, about 265.
Looks like one of our officials may have been shaken up on the play, or maybe have suffered a bit of a pulled muscle or a cramp, as he's looked to by the Wheaton Warrenville South trainer on the far sidelines.
Might be Chuck Graber, I'm not sure.
1st and 10 for the Tigers as they move deeper and deeper in the Glenbard West territory. Matt Rogers got a good kick-out block from McAndrew, and he drives to the 23-yard line before he is stopped on the play by Tim Hollowood, a gain of 6.
Tackle on the play by 41.
Outside zone play once again. It's like a stretch. Running with a lot of blockers in front of him.
Down and 4 at the 23-yard line.
The Tigers mixing in the run and pass. Lanning has 10 tackles in this football game. Very active free safety.
At the 23 of Glenbard. 2nd and 4. And now whistles blow and a timeout called by Wheaton Warrenville South.
Wheaton Warrenville South.
Their 1st of the 2nd half. Coming with just a couple of minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Coming up, the battle for the 8A state championship. Defending champion Maine South against an impressive program, an up-and-coming program from Marist. It'll be the final of 8 champions to be crowned in 2 days of action here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign.
Coach Pat Dunn has really put Marist on the map the last couple seasons, and of course Maine South, along with Wheaton South here, as far as being 7 and 8A public schools. Prospect I'd have to throw in there in this last decade. Just done an unbelievable job getting to these state championship games.
Marist loses an SEC quarterback to Vanderbilt through graduation.
Yeah,
Comes
Maine
right
South,
back with Tyler Benz, who was a wideout last year, and they never missed a beat. They played a tough schedule this year.
Charlie Gorel, well, in fact, Wheaton South's only loss this season was to Maine South early in the season. As we see the defensive coaches, Coach Rick Heckman, the D-line coach, graduate of Downers Grove North, as a matter of fact, in the West Suburban Conference. Now is coaching for the Hilltoppers. They're talking about how to get pressure on Riley O'Toole. This rollout has been a nice adjustment, buying some time for the Wheaton Warrenville South quarterback.
On 2nd and 4, the play fake to Rogers. O'Toole just get it away. It's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Jason Schumann stretched out and brings in the 23-yard touchdown reception. He needed all he could out of his 6-7 frame to bring it in.
And Schumann came from the opposite side across the field on that pattern. We'll see him. He's the left tight end. O'Toole's rolling out to the right. Finds his target there, throws it up, and lets him go up and get it, and that's tough duty. Look at number 1, the outside linebacker, Billy O'Donnell, running with the tight end there.
And Connor Loftus was coming in strong from the blind side to O'Toole, who throws the touchdown. And now the Tigers looking to make it a 7-point lead. The kick is good by Nick Imicus. Yep. 17-10 lead. Wheaton Warrenville South was exactly 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, the way this third quarter started out with Connor Loftus picking off that ball, Glenbard West had the momentum, but a nice job by Wheaton Warrenville South with the rollout pass. It's really helped their offense.
Well, right now, O'Toole with that touchdown pass, 8 of 16 for 105 yards in the contest, and 2 interceptions.
There's a look at Coach Chad Hetlet, who's done a fantastic job in Glenbard West the past 3 seasons.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Aaron Bennett.
Guys, it's 17-10 with a little more than a quarter to go. This game's really just getting good. You know both these teams know how to win. Of course, Glenbard West comes in undefeated, and Wheaton South is just about as battle-tested as you can get. This season, they played all 4 of these state champions and runners-up from the 7A and 8A state championship games from a year ago. Hinsdale Central, Maine South, Geneva, and East St. Louis. The only one of those 4 teams the Tigers didn't beat this year, but we'll see them in the 8A championship game coming up next. That was Maine South, guys.
Strong schedule, both of these teams. Part of it also due to the fact they play in strong conferences. Imicus, the kick. And it is taken in the end zone. The automatic touchback. And the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West will start the drive at the 20 as we take a look at the scoring drive for the Tigers.
4 plays, 42 yards. Jason Schumann, who has done a great job of filling in there for Dan Hohenstein, who was out injured in the Geneva game, caught the touchdown pass. Coverage was actually pretty good. Well thrown ball by Riley O'Toole.
And let's see how the Hilltoppers countered. Tyler Warden under center. Washington Steele gets the quick handoff, tries to turn it upfield, doesn't have really a lot to work with. Was trying to get a block from Will Caspers, but he picks up only a yard, and in 2nd and 9.
And Glenbard West needs to get a first down here, and they need to actually get switched on the ends of the field so they do not have to contend with this strong wind. If you watch that American flag, it's blowing pretty good.
Yeah.
And
not as big of a factor on the field as it is higher up here, but still it can do crazy things in this Horseshoe Stadium. Up the middle, this is Bruer, the fullback, picks his way to the 27, 28-yard line, setting up a 3rd and short.
It was Adam Bruer last week, again, who broke out against a really good Lake Zurich Bear football team. And that really was a big touchdown for the Hilltoppers.
Third down, 3rd and 1.
Against Hononegah,
29-yard line.
9 carries, 76 yards. And earlier this season, he scored 3 touchdowns against Downers Grove North. 3rd and 1. Kept by Warden. That's going to be close. He got driven back when it looked like he had plenty of room. Then suddenly, somebody came in hard to make the tackle.
Got it.
Yeah, he got it. Looked like
I think it was LaBelle in there, inside linebacker putting the hit on him, but then he stuck with it, kept his legs driving, and fell forward once again after the contact.
I think Sporty Chino also got up in there and laid a lick as well, the nose tackle.
He is an aggressive, quick little defensive lineman, very difficult to block.
A fresh set of downs for the Hilltoppers. Brewer hit as he gets through the line, hit immediately by Michael Wheaton, the linebacker.
Ball carrier. Brought down by 37.
Testing the inside of that defensive line. Hilltoppers, that defensive line coach again, Devin Finn, one of the coaches of the D-line for Wheaton South. Only 2 seconds left. Going to go to the 4th quarter time.
1 quarter to go. And it's a 7-point Wheaton Warrenville South lead. Back with the 4th quarter from Champaign after we hear from our local stations. Opening play of the 4th quarter. Glenbard West trailing by a touchdown. Short drop. Warden connects at the 41-yard line to JT Mesh.
Nice route, nice ball. Mesh is about 2 feet short of the first down there.
Mesh 3 touchdowns against Hononegah. 1 rushing, 2 receiving.
Both Mesh boys playing a team. One's a senior, one's a junior, and as I mentioned earlier, their father coached a lot of youth football in the town of Glen, Ellyn. He was a former Hilltopper player in a 9-0 team back in the 70s.
3rd down and a yard. Brewer bouncing, trying to get a hole. Looks like he has enough for the first down.
Second effort got it for him. Adam Brewer with good leg drive there.
Yep, our stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
2 turnovers apiece, rushing yardage pretty equal. Wheaton Warrenville a slight edge on the throwing game from what we just have had happen here in the second half.
And time of possession has taken a 6-minute turn with Wheaton Warrenville South now with a 3-minute edge. 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Warden has time, buying a little more time, now in trouble, throws it, and it's complete at the 50-yard line.
That was a big-time play, I'll tell you what. And as JT Mesh did not leave his quarterback out to dry. He came back to the football. One thing all receiver coaches teach. He's throwing off his back foot, but he's coming back. He threw it to a spot, and Mesh did a great job of coming back to the football. There wasn't much on that ball, and if he hadn't done that, a defensive back would have stepped in there and picked it off.
Well, Tyler Becker had Warden in the grasp. And Warden was still able to get that 8-yard completion. Washington Steele jitterbugs his way to the 44-yard line, and a first down for Glenbard West. A gain of 6 yards.
First time we've seen Pierre Washington Steele get a little daylight. If he gets too much daylight, he's very dangerous. As we mentioned, he transferred from Driscoll and Addison, and quite a track athlete as well. In the 100-meter, he came in second last year.
First down and 10.
The give to Washington Steele. Hurdles a tackler and drives to the 40. Stopped by the cornerback, Ackerman.
Tackled by number 4.
Nice run there by Pierre Washington Steele. Key here is, of course, that the running backs really put the ball away. A fumble in this situation would be really dramatic. So the Hilltoppers are doing a nice job of getting some running rhythm back, and they've got plenty of time with 9:20 left in the 4th quarter.
Washington Steele came into the game averaging 8 yards a carry. The play action fake to him, and Warden comes out throwing. and hits his man at the 30-yard line. He connects with Nick. Nope, makes that J.T. Mesh.
Another catch for Mesh on the square out pattern off the bootleg action.
Sometimes those 8s and 9s
they look a lot alike, yes.
That was Mesh with the catch, as you said. 10 yards and a first down at the 30-yard line.
Hilltoppers need to keep executing, stay away from the penalties, and moving the chains.
Quick handoff to Brewer, and he churns down to the 36-yard line. Tackled on the play by Katina, the defensive lineman.
Yep, number 43, defensive front player, Katina. Brewer.
Call it a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
Brewer usually gets yards after contact, keeps those legs churning. 4 for 10 territory with the Hilltoppers right now.
Tyler Warden hands it off. This is Steve Jones, his second carry of the game to the 25-yard line, just a couple of yards on the play.
We've seen Brewer, Jones. Here's Jones. We mentioned a lot of backs carrying the football as number 70. Greg Kuhn gets out in front of that play. Offensive tackle, a senior. Brewer's carried. Washington Pierre, of course. Brewer and Morello, and now Jones.
A 3rd and 4 coming up.
Got 2 plays to get it. They better get the play in real quickly.
About to say this is 4 down territory. The play clock at 16. Mesh and Borello are wingbacks. Borello in motion. He hands it off to Borello. Stiff arms 1, gets to the sidelines, to the 5, goes airborne, lost the football, and they say he's out of bounds at the 1.5 yard line.
Did the Hilltoppers catch a break there? It was the jet sweep, as we see Borello and the speed that he has, and he went airborne, and that ball went out of bounds. Lucky for the Hilltoppers on that spot. Bednar's coming up on support.
Wow.
Fumble out of bounds at the 1 yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, you heard it.
Caleb Bednar's and a huge play down there.
But again, the ball went out of bounds and last possessed by Glenbard, so they got it 1st and goal at the 1. Brewer, touchdown, Glenbard West.
Double lead play. And the Hilltoppers have responded. Great play by Adam Brewer. There's Mike Sandos, one of the offensive guards. We'll see the double lead play, and they've got some big boys on that side. Coming off on the line surge. They got Tommy Shutt in there at 265 pounds. Number 85 is the lead back. Big kick here.
So now Holloway will try to tie it up again for the 2nd time in the game. He pulled it, but it's good. Ooh, baby. Well,
we've seen 2 games, haven't we?
7:39 to go in regulation. We're tied at 17. Let's hear from our network sponsors. 7.5 minutes or so to go, and we haven't decided a thing. We're tied at 17.
The only thing decided is there's 2 outstanding football teams going toe-to-toe. And right now, Tim Holloway has got the wind at his back. If he can put it in the end zone, that'll be a real good thing for the Hilltoppers.
The kick, Bednar's is back deep, and he takes it into the end zone, and that will come out to the 20-yard line. I'm beginning to think like you, Coach. You take a look at the drive again.
14 plays, 80 yards, 621. That is what you call a drive, mixing in the pass and the run. And we got ourselves a tie football game. And now Wheaton Warrenville will be working their way from their own 20 and towards the win with 7:39 left.
You saw Wheaton Warrenville South 4.3 yards of play. They averaged only 3.2 in the first half. Now the Tigers coming back in a tie game. That is Banuelos, and he's stuck for a gain of maybe a yard as O'Donnell comes up and makes the tackle, number 1.
There's that outside zone play, stretch, and O'Donnell, the outside backer, made a nice tackle as it was pretty well neutralized, that offensive charge in the trenches.
These two schools, a series going back to 1916, they used to have problems with student riots after the games back in the 20s. Second and long. The toss to Banuelos. The handoff to Tracy. Tracy loses yardage back to the 17-yard line as Marshall comes in along with Connor Loftus.
Zach Marshall, very athletic defensive lineman. Wheaton, Warrenville South's got a fast defensive front, but so do the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. A good call trying to get the misdirection, but Zach Marshall stays flat along the line of scrimmage, and that's how you want to pursue, to run something down from behind. Huge third down play. Riley O'Toole needs to find an open receiver here.
They need a dozen to get the first down. O'Toole from the shotgun.
Blitz.
Here comes the blitz. Pass is incomplete. Kamiatek began running with it before he had it. Don't think he would have had enough for the first down. We'll take a look.
You're right. Yeah, he did. Quick out pattern. Lots of heat coming this time. Back in the pocket instead of rolling out. And a little bit more pressure applied by the Hilltoppers. And this is real big right now that the Hilltoppers, Nick Borello, handle the punt cleanly and give the Hilltoppers good field position here.
Tracy back to punt. Nope, I'm sorry, that was not Tracy. That was Emicus punting. And down at the 40-yard line.
Emicus just punted that ball into the wind. Nice
44-yard punt on the play. We'll take a timeout. Just under 6 minutes to go as we hear from our local stations.
Welcome back. 6 minutes left to go in a 17-17 ball game. Glenbard West defense coming up with a big stop at a big time right there just a few moments ago. Their defense, of course, led by senior linebacker Connor Loftus. He says, we want the opposing offense to know that we're coming for them and we're not going to stop pounding until they quit or we win the game. And if they can put a few more points on the board, that might just be the case for the Hilltoppers, guys.
Thanks, Adam, as that ball carried by Steve Jones. And he shoots up to the 50-yard line. Close enough. Might have a first down.
The Hilltoppers came out in an unbalanced line that time. Gave the ball to Steve Jones. He found a nice lane. Got some good yardage. And we got second and about a foot to go. Jones, a senior, journeyman, blue-collar type of runner in there.
See if they hand off to Brewer. He's been their short yardage guy. Yeah, he gets the handoff. He's got a nice seam to the right side and has plenty enough for the first down to the 47-yard line. He picks up 3, and it's a first down.
And Chad Hetland right now is thinking, well, there's 5 minutes left in this ball game. Let's run some first downs. Let's get down the field. Mix in the play action with the running game, and maybe we'll get a shot at a field goal with the wind at our back to win this football game by 3 points.
Brewer right now their second leading rusher, 40 yards and 11 carries. Barreto leads on the ground with 65. First and 10. That handoff goes to Borello. Trying to get outside, but he is hemmed in nicely by the Tiger defense. And among the first to get there, the strong safety is Joe Krob.
And the Tigers are so quick defensively that when you get lateral with a football, they get so much pursuit. And that time, inside-out pursuit really made a difference. And the Tigers held up quite well. An inside play again to Brewer is a possibility, or a play-action pass.
Second down and 10. Play-action fake as Warden comes out throwing and overthrows his intended receiver, J.T. Mesh, inside the 40-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
There was pressure on that play, as you'll see this time. With number 41 coming for Wheaton South caused that play. Tyler Becker forced Warden to rush the throw and overthrow Mesh. And we got a 3rd down and 10 here. huge play for both of these teams.
Kavanaugh and Mesh wide to the top of the screen. Borello to the bottom of the screen. Out of the shotgun snap, Warren's going to keep it and run. Warden to the 40-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the yardage needed to get a first down. It'll bring up 4th and about 3, and I would tend to think they're going to go for it.
Quarterback draw on this play. As you see, Warden trying to get that extra yardage, and one of the players we highlighted, Tom LaBelle, coming up from the linebacker spot. 4th down, 3:46 to go, 3 yards to go, and Coach Hetlett's going for it. This is big.
Well, even with the win, it'd be a 57-yard field goal. That's out of the range. So 4th and 3. And they're going to talk it over. Look.
Timeout, Glenbard West.
Timeout. We'll take a timeout. We're tied at 17, 3.5 to go in regulation. Let's hear from our network sponsors. A big 4th and 3 coming up for Glenbard West at the Tigers' 40-yard line. Tyler Warden. And now a penalty marker thrown by the side judge, and illegal procedure is going to be called against Glenbard West.
Well, that changes things.
Certainly does. That shades of the first half when Glenbard West would hurt itself with some very ill-timed penalties. And now you go from 4th and 5 to 4th and 8, or 4th and 3 to 4th and 8.
And it's funny how things like this work out. Now the Hilltoppers are going to end up punting the football, which I think is an excellent decision. And we'll see what kind of punt Tim Hollowood gets off. And see how this plays out with only 3:30 left in the ballgame.
Bednarz and McAndrew are deep for Wheaton Warrenville South. Hollowood just trying to pooch it. Taken at the 13-yard line by Bednarz, and his feet taken out from under him by Nick Borello. Excellent coverage. A 32-yard punt and a 2-yard return. Well,
Nick Borello on that tackle. Excellent play, as we'll see the coverage coming downfield. Nobody wants to block in the back. Coming in low and hard. Big time play on the special teams by Borello.
3:21 left in regulation as we're deadlocked at 17 between these two DuPage County powerhouses. Riley O'Toole out of the shotgun. With time, plenty of time. Now the protection breaks down. He's sacked by Tommy Shutt at the 15.
And the Hilltoppers elected to rush only 3 linemen that time and drop 8 people into coverage. A little bit different look, but you know they're also defending the clock here with 3 minutes left in the game.
So basically that was a coverage sack, as O'Toole now will face 2nd down and 10. Did not lose any yardage on the play. As you take a look at nose tackle Andy Ellyn.
Started 26 games for the Hilltoppers, this young man.
O'Toole out of the gun. This is a quarterback draw. Nothing at all. He is stopped back at the 11-yard line. Loss of about 4 or 5, and Connor Loftus is in there to make the stop.
And Coach Jeremy Cordell, defensive coordinator, guessed right here. Rushed 3 last time. This time a big rush. Tommy Shutt arriving there first, along with a host of other tacklers.
Timeout taken by Wheaton Warrenville South. They've got 2 remaining in this half. Correction. They just changed it on the board. 1 remaining in this half. Each team with 1 timeout remaining in regulation.
Here's Coach Rick Heckman talking to his defensive front. Coach Heckman does a great job with the front. Coach Muhitch over there communicating with the offense. Joe Kish with the headphones on next to him. former Glenbard West Hilltopper, actually, now principal in the system in Wheaton, the system, coaches those wide receivers.
Ron Muhich in the middle. Now we go to the other side, and Jed Hetland's in the middle.
Jeremy Cordell right there, played at Illinois State as a defensive back. The defense has come up big. This is a huge play.
It'll be a 3rd and 13 for Wheaton Warrenville South with 2:19 left in regulation.
Do they rush 3 or do they bring them all? Let's see what happens.
Looks like they're rushing 3, though the linebackers are now playing up tight. As O'Donnell moved up, he's showing blitz, but no, they drop back. O'Toole comes up throwing, broken up. A diving breakup over there by Joe Ceruto, who comes in as a nickelback and was able to make the play.
Only rushing 3, a lot of coverage downfield. Riley O'Toole scrambles out to his left. Ball deflected by Joe Ceruto, senior cornerback, nickelback. Nice play by Ceruto there.
So now it's 4th down.
Imicus really boomed the punt last time.
And he is now a yard deep in his end zone. Morello, the single safety back for Glenbard West.
Not this time.
Not a great punt, but they do get a bounce. And it's down in Wheaton Warrenville South territory at the 47-yard line with 2:08 remaining. Just a 34-yard punt. And we've seen that they've certainly got a field goal kicker, Glenbard West, and maybe they can end this before going into overtime.
Well, if you're Coach Ellyn, this is exactly what you wanted your defense to do, give you the ball on the Wheaton Warrenville South to the 50-yard line. They've got 2 minutes and 8 seconds. You got to run your normal offense. We had great penetration last time. You just saw number 41 there. Tyler Becker get in the last time they ran a play-action pass.
Hand off to Washington Steele, trying to get outside, hemmed in by 3 Tigers at the 43-yard line. Tyler Becker, one of the first to get to him, along with Tom LaBelle at linebacker.
And Washington Steele's a little slow getting up there as LaBelle and Becker both came over there. And the Tigers are very aware of how the Hilltopper running backs are carrying the ball as they come in, trying to punch the ball out or strip it.
2nd and 6. Warden throwing near side. Oh, just beyond the reach on the near sidelines of J.T. Mesh. He was in between defenders and he had a step.
He was, and it looked like the under coverage. There's a chance to see it. Oh, just deflected beautifully there by number 84, Dan Sloboda.
Wow, he just got a piece of it.
Got a chunk of the ball, deflected it, changed the flight path of the football. That would have been a huge change in field position and put the Hilltoppers within field goal range. Might see a draw again or a slip screen one time. Sometimes the Hilltoppers like that slip screen in this situation.
94 seconds left in regulation in a 17-17 tie. 4 wideouts. And whistles blow and a timeout. The last timeout taken by the Hilltoppers.
Glenbard West.
That's the Hilltoppers' last of the 4th quarter with 1:34 remaining.
Well, using that timeout, of course, it's an important time if there's a miscommunication going. But what this will do is, if the Hilltoppers do get a first down, once those chains are set, they're going to have to be able to possibly spike the ball at some point in time. They don't have a timeout to save to try the field goal attempt. And I'm talking field goal now because Wheaton South's been pretty stingy giving up the yardage, and that's what they need to do as the Hilltoppers are moving this ball. There's Joe Kish talking with Coach Muhich.
Somehow not surprising at all
nail-biter
that these 2 teams are deadlocked at 17. Time running out in regulation. Tyler Warden on 3rd down. Wants to throw. Throws. It is caught on the near sidelines at the 17-yard line by Nick Morello. Wow. And it's a first down for Glenbard West.
pinpointed pass. Warden's rolling out. He squares up. I thought he was going to run, but then he releases the ball, and Borello's up the sideline. He looks at ball and tight ropes the sideline, and now all of a sudden the ball is in field goal range.
27 yards on the reception. First down now for Glenbard West from Wheaton, Warrenville South's 16-yard line. This is Brewer. This looks like he was just trying to get a little room, maybe take it between the hash marks.
Got to handle the ball cleanly. It's hard to get that inside trap going right now.
Tyler Becker on the tackle. Is you see Matt Ives coming off the field, and the last time out taken by Wheaton Warrenville South with 1:16 to go.
They want some time left on the clock as Wheaton South takes their last time out here. As the Hilltoppers were going to let it run down. There's still 1:16 though.
I got to
Anything could happen.
I'd be surprised if the Hilltoppers put the ball in the air.
I agree with you.
I mean, there's no reason to take chances right now. Right now, the field goal would be what? 15-7, 32 yards.
Very makeable for Tim Hollowood.
It's not a chip shot.
Oh no, it's but just like the other side of the field with Nick Gimmickis, Tim Hollowood has kicked field goals all year long and has been very good from this distance.
Well, last week at Lake Zurich, a come from behind win for Glenbard in the game's last minute.
That Lake Zurich team is a very good football team. They got a lot of young guys playing.
Impressive they were. 2nd and 9. Brewer. Nope, correction. I got faked off on that
jet
handoff.
sweep. That's that jet sweep.
Borello
Yep.
to the 11-yard line.
Nick Borello having a big game here in the second half. There's Tim Hollowood stretching out a little bit. He plays defense all the way, but he's getting ready to make an attempt.
Now Warden rolling out, throwing into the end zone, incomplete on the near side. Looking for Mark Hibben, the hero at Lake Zurich, in the same corner of the end zone as last week.
It's the same guy, and Tyler Warden had some running room there. You know, that rollout pass, that bootleg is a run-throw option. And that stops the clock.
4th down.
Yep, here we go.
And it's going to be up to Tim Hollowood, who is 4 of 4 for field goals this year. This one a 28-yarder for the lead with 51 seconds remaining. The hold, Chris Cavanaugh. The ball down. The kick is on its way. No good! No good! It is no good! Holy smokes!
Wow! It's no chip shot. He followed through, had the wind behind him.
Got under it a little bit. It was really an end over end.
New life comes to the Tigers here with 47 seconds left. How do you call plays here if you're Coach Muhich?
Neither team with a timeout remaining.
Right.
Watch his reaction. Watch Hollowood's reaction.
Snap is good. Placement's good. Follow through.
Well, never got a reaction because he was on the turf. There is Banuelos rambling up to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 13 and a first down.
Number 41, Mike Manning.
Wheaton Warrenville South would like to get a field goal in regulation.
Sideline.
Here is O'Toole running out of bounds at the 36. Stopping the clock with 28 seconds remaining.
Roll out that time, giving him O'Toole the opportunity to run out of bounds in that situation. He had a Greg McAndrew running a sideline pattern there, but elected to run with a football with 28 seconds left.
Well, like
anything could happen.
Like Maris in the 5A, they wanted to win it on their own terms, not take their chances in overtime. And that's certainly what the Tigers would like to do here. They can get it close enough for a game-winning field goal, just not a lot of time remaining with no timeouts. O'Toole with protection. Scrambling now, and he's going to run. trying to get out of bounds, and he does. As
Great effort by O'Toole to get out of bounds as Justin Mesh came up from the outside linebacker
trying
spot.
to keep him in bounds.
Correct.
O'Toole, the ball carrier.
Secondary playing half coverage. A lot of guys dropping off. Only a two-man rush that time.
But it took a lot of time, down just 19 seconds remaining in regulation.
Well, I remember years ago in a big game when Wheaton South was playing Naperville North, and they came with the old hook and lateral play, the turn in, caught the turn in, flipped it back.
Oh, they've talked about that play for years.
And it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was for the conference title in the DVC.
They're going to measure. It's a first down for Wheaton Warrenville South. 1st and 10 with 19 seconds to go. They got to go a long ways yet to get it in field goal range, as they'll start this set of downs at the Tiger 43-yard line.
Here's where Riley O'Toole has been good this year and making good decisions. Hilltoppers have been rushing 3 guys, bluffing here. Let's see what we have.
Whistles blow. And let's see, no penalty markers have been thrown. But their clock was 9 seconds. They got to put time back on the clock.
Timer, reset the stadium clock to 19 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
1-9, 19 seconds.
Yeah, he got out of bounds.
Oh,
The
yeah,
clock
he
should
was
have been
on.
stopped at
Good
19.
call.
That's the correct call.
All right, nobody's working the clock here. They're very impartial up above, just in a mistake in that situation.
Considering 8 games in 2 days, the crew here does a fantastic job. Now the snap to O'Toole with time. Now looking for room to run. Tackled on the play by Tim Hollowed at the 39-yard line. A loss of about 4. And now the clock running inside of 5, 4. Wait a second now.
Should probably go back to 2 seconds, I think.
That he was able to spike the ball? I didn't see. Okay.
Reset the clock to 3 seconds. 0-3, please.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the scoreboard. 3 seconds.
Well, we know one thing. This will be the last play unless there's a penalty. In regulation, 2 outstanding football teams going toe-to-toe. 17-17 is our score.
Well, I think right now you just go for the home run and see if somebody gets a deflection, somebody gets open. Otherwise, we are staring overtime square in the face. O'Toole throws it up short. There's the lateral, but sniffed out by Billy O'Donnell.
Just like we talked about, that's what they used a few years ago. They executed it properly, but that's it.
At the end of regulation, we're heading for overtime, tied at 17. Back after we hear from your local stations.
Will be a 3-minute period.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Champaign. Tom Stalker, Jim Covert, Aaron Bennett with you. We're heading into overtime to determine the 7A state championship. Wheaton Warrenville South and Glenbard West are tied at 17. The captains will meet at the 50. We will pick up the coin toss. It will determine who will want the ball first in a set of downs, 1st and 10. It is not who scores first, like in the Sunday leagues.
And if you win the toss, you usually want to go on defense, so you know what you need.
Let's go down to the officials.
Hey, Glenbard West, this is your choice. Heads, tails, heads, tails. Glenbard will make the call. You can repeat it.
Tails.
Call is tails. Heads, you won the toss.
We'll be on defense first.
You want to be on defense first.
So I told you.
Which end of the field would you like to play in?
We'll defend this end.
Defend the side.
We want to go in there, yeah. We're at the ball, right? So we want to go in there. We'll play at that end.
We'll play at this end.
Yeah, Connor Loftus says, we want to go that way. They want the wind to the back is what he basically was saying.
Exactly, and like we said, if you win the toss, you want to go on defense. So I like this type of overtime so much better than the NFL.
Yeah.
In the NFL, the coin toss is everything. You know, in college and high school, both teams get the ball.
And
there's
the
your
wind,
wind.
the wind is from your right to left. Ron Muhich makes the long walk back to the sidelines through 48 minutes of regulation football. We're deadlocked at 17. And I'm just somehow not surprised at all that these two teams, so equally matched, are going to overtime. Our Menards stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
And this is pretty much, when you look at the stats, you're looking at what's happened in this tie ball game. Good rushing yardage, passing yardage by both teams, a slight edge to West. Turnovers 2 apiece, time of possession very close. And that's why we are where we are. And so here we go.
Glenbard West, 5 penalties in the first half, only 2 in the second half. Glenbard West has outgained Wheaton Warrenville South by 70 yards in total offense.
And you really need to get 7 points on the board most often when you possess the ball first.
So it's first down at the 10-yard line. On the handoff, near side. The ball is carried by Nick Borello. Borello to the 7-yard line, a gain of 3.
The jet sweep, that was the play that didn't time out properly early in the game, and now they've got it timed out as it should be. The defensive front, secondary's got to squeeze the coverage, but they need to read their keys and not get pulled up by play-action passes.
Tyler Warden on second down. Handoff goes to Jones to the 4-yard line. Hit first by the linebacker Tom LaBelle. Number 31.
Bell coming up on balanced line. That time for the Hilltoppers.
Call it a gain of 2 at the 5. It's 3rd down and 5.
Good play by Coach Ellyn here, one of the biggest he's ever called. Let's see if the Hilltoppers execute it.
And again, no matter what happens here, the Tigers will get their set of downs from the 10-yard line. Mesh to the near side. Borello to the far side. Straight up the middle. Bruyere into the end zone. Touchdown, Glenbard West.
He weaved in there. He had good blocking up front. And Bruyere found the end zone. And that's about as good as you can do if you're Glenbard West. And now Tim Holloway needs to keep his head down and put this one through the uprights. We'll have a chance to see the replay on this play. A trap block. Sandos pulling and trapping, number 52, and Bruyere getting into the end zone.
Bednar's hit him at the goal line, but Bruyere able to power his way in. The point after is good.
Wow.
Is there a penalty marker down? There is. There is a flag on the play. Hold everything. Personal foul, roughing the kicker against Wheaton Warrenville South.
Well, they could take the points and move them back, if I'm not mistaken, on the line of scrimmage situation.
Yeah, I think it would push them back.
That's it.
To start the drive at the 15.
Connor Loftus saying, we'll take the points and put that in on the overtime. Yep.
Yeah, that means the starting yard line for Wheaton Warrenville South will be the 25-yard line.
Let's see what they decide here.
I thought it was a 5-yard penalty.
Extra point is good. Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Oh, personal foul.
On the 60 spot. First down.
It's a big difference from running into the kicker.
Oh, my.
15 yards. Watch.
Oh, down low. Yep, Tim Holloway's going down there is number 84. Not intentional, of course. Dan Sloboda coming in there on the angle.
I could see Ron Muhich said, almost basically saying, why are you calling that in overtime?
Well, it doesn't really matter what it is.
I know he's trying to plead his case. It's not going to change.
He's listening right now. He wants to make sure he's understanding the call. There's Matt Alley, former Wheaton Warrenville star, who works with the quarterbacks. So So this makes for a tough situation, but you know what? If you're Wheaton South, Riley O'Toole.
Each team gets an extra timeout in overtime.
You've done this before if you're Riley O'Toole. And right now, you're going to see the Hilltopper defense that's not going to just sit back. I think they're going to really mix it up in the front.
This is just like the college overtime from the 25.
Yes.
4 wideouts. Shotgun for O'Toole. Kamiatek in motion. O'Toole rolling out. Now steps up. Continues to run. And out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And a penalty marker thrown at the end of the play. And I think Tommy Shutt will get called for a late hit.
Well, you know, you talk about changes of momentum. They're talking it over right now.
Watch on the replay, Jim. Let's see if we can.
There's Riley O'Toole. There's Shutt right there. I don't think that.
No.
There's no way. I'm sorry.
No. That's not a late hit.
I'm sorry.
But there is no review in high school.
Red ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, half the distance, second down.
He got there right as the quarterback was intersecting the sideline. What is he supposed to do? Stop?
Yeah. Well.
Oh well.
Some might consider that. Well.
Oh well. Moving on.
At the 11-yard line. So it'll be second and goal for Wheaton Warrenville South. Again, the replay showed no contact, but plays like that, no plays really under review in high school football. O'Toole being given a good boost now by that penalty. O'Toole tackled at the 13-yard line, tackled on the play by Justin Mesh, along with the JT Mesh.
Justin Mesh in there, outside linebacker.
Mesh
Pull up
and
Riley
Mesh.
O'Toole. Yep, I think that might have been Nick Borello in on that as well. We'll see.
They meshed together to make the stop.
Timeout, Wheaton Warrenville South.
Wheaton Warrenville South will take its one allotted timeout for overtime, trailing 24-17. Glenbard West took the lead on a touchdown run by Adam Brewer on a third down play in their overtime series. 3rd and 13 upcoming for the Tigers.
And the Hilltoppers have to defend the goal line. They have 13 yards of field to work with. The receivers, shifty receivers for Wheaton South, along with their outstanding quarterback. They have to get a score. They do not need the field goal, obviously. They need a touchdown. You're going to see maybe some bump and run coverage. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hilltoppers bring more than 3 here.
All at the 13. 3rd and goal for Wheaton Warrenville South.
Watch out for 99, that big target. Jason Schumann.
Kamiatek in motion. Over the middle, caught by number 99, down to the 1-yard line. The coach called it Jason Schumann with the catch, the big 6'7" tight end.
Great target to throw to on the inside route. It's just there, you'll see it. I had a feeling it was coming. There was under and over coverage. But, I mean, that was just a well-thrown ball, and now
It's hard
this
to
is
cover.
4th down, and we got about a foot to go, and this is the football game.
Here we go.
Will they go outside with it?
Banuelos, touchdown. And we're an extra point away, going to a second overtime round. Wow.
Will the Tigers kick it, or will they go for 2?
Well, my call would be the safe one to kick it and take your chances in the second round. But I think they're going to go for 2. I think they're going to go for 2.
We saw this in the 5A game.
Ron Muhich saying, hey, I don't want to take my chances in the second round. We're going to decide it right here.
Here it is. Look at Coach Muhich.
Nope. Now they're going to kick. Well, didn't mean to. Here is Imicus. The ball down. The kick. We're going to round 2 of overtime.
Well, wow.
Well, you called it, Coach. The big 6'7" tight end, and Glenbard West had him very well covered. But there was such a height mismatch. There's nothing they could have done.
No, that's exactly right. You know, the only thing you can do to prevent that from happening is putting an outside backer on him, jamming him on the line of scrimmage, preventing him to get a good release, and then turning and running with that young man.
Put 1 minute on the clock, 1 minute intermission period.
1 minute intermission.
Not really a lot of time to go grab some popcorn, so stay right with us. 24-24 as we head into the second round of overtime.
This brings back flashbacks to me. I mean, this is a long time ago, but in '76, Glenbard West and St. Lawrence, overtime game. We scored first at Glenbard West and kicked it. St. Lawrence elected to go for 2, broke the plane, and beat the Hilltoppers 22-21 on an unbelievable football game.
Coming up, it's going to be a hard one to follow this one, though, but Maine South and Marist can do it. 2 great teams. Maine South looking for its second consecutive 8A state title. Marist making a lot of noise and upsetting quite a few people along the way to get to the championship game. That'll be coming up once we determine this.
Glenbard West will be on defense first. Play will take place at this end of the field.
Well, that can be a real advantage for you defensively, as we have a chance to look at number 42 there. That's actually Bo Warden, Tyler Warden's brother, who was a starting linebacker and got injured
Suffered
at Hononegah.
a broken bone in his leg. First and goal for Wheaton Warrenville South. O'Toole hands to Banuelos. Following his blocking, but hit by Connor Loftus and company. Looks like they give Banuelos progress to the 5-yard line, a pick up a 5.
Julian Banuelos, he has a low center of gravity. He's very strong. Got an extra yard or 2 after contact.
Good pulling guard lead blocked by Luke Lurson and creating that hole for Banuelos.
Mike Lanning, 41 there. Safety, he's been in on a lot of plays. Coverage has to be tight right now, as you can see. Bump and run technique.
Handoff goes to Banuelos. Hit at the 5 and drives to the 4. Among the tacklers there, John Atkins, the middle linebacker.
Atkins in there on the play. Took Banuelos slow.
And again, Lanning in there as well.
Banuelos actually got a yard or 2 after contact. Otherwise, it could have been a negative yardage play.
3rd and goal, the ball just inside the 4.
This is a huge play because it will determine whether Coach Muhich elects to go for the 6 points or the field goal with Imicus on the next play.
Tracy wide at the top of the screen. McAndrew and Kamayatek to the near side. Kamayatek in the slot, and there's a little disorganization there. And a timeout taken. It looked like they didn't quite have their
timeout, Wheaton Warrenville South.
Their formation set, and a little confusion, and they have to burn a timeout.
Well, Coach Muhich, sometimes they'll take a look at what a team's going to line up, and on the headphones, somebody will say, take the timeout. We're not getting what we expected to see.
Kind of like what basketball teams do on an important free throw or an inbounds play to see
sure, exactly.
what defense the opposition is setting up.
There's the huddle of Glenbard West coaches there.
For the record, Glenbard does have 2 timeouts remaining. Wheaton Warrenville South has none.
Coach Hetlet there letting Jeremy Cordell, defensive coordinator, explain exactly what he wants. Jay Maroney in that picture as well, a former outstanding wide receiver for the Hilltoppers.
How about that for Chad Hetlet, 2 weeks after your 37th birthday? During an overtime for all the marbles here in Champaign. O'Toole gives to Rogers. Drives straight ahead to the 1.
Schumann, a tight end, coming off the football on that play.
Atkins
big ball here.
And Olson on the tackle. at the 1.
Jordan Walsh, all-state tackle, coming in, an offensive lineman coming in on the defensive package.
4th down, 4th and goal. The ball just inside the 1-yard line.
And the double lead play has been good off a tackle. The Hilltoppers have been taking that inside gap away. They need more people at the point of attack off tackle.
Tom Oak, number 40, the fullback. He blocks for Rogers. Rogers to the goal line. He's in for the touchdown.
He got it on his second effort there. There was contact at the line of scrimmage.
Touchdown, Wheaton, Warrenville South.
Cody Olson there in on the play. We'll have a chance to see it here. There's Connor Loftus with his back to us. Good lead block, and there's Cody Olson, number 25, going head-to-head there. Nice job of down blocking, a nice trap block. 58, push it down. Luke Lurson there, left guard, 255 pounds, 6'5" tackle.
Imicus to give him a 7-point lead. It's good. And now Glenbard West will get it from the 10, 1st and goal.
The pressure's now on the Hilltoppers. Quite a turn of events from the last overtime. The Hilltoppers now have to score. Need to take care of the ball. They've got 4 plays to get into the end zone.
They do have 1 timeout remaining now. They take a timeout at the start of this series here. Well, we had enough excitement for you at home tonight.
No doubt about it.
Huh?
I wonder what my pulse rate is right now.
We've had to bolt him to the floor to keep him from jumping out of the booth. There is the quarterback, Warden, evading a tackler, throws into the end zone, incomplete. Incomplete. Looking for Borello on a low throw. Watch it again to see if Borello could do his throw. Comes in low.
Comes in low. Tough to see. Good call. Ball's on the ground all the way. Tyler Warden had a little room to run. Tried to thread the needle.
Joe Kroll on the coverage.
Tigers around the football there.
2nd and goal from the 10. Tyler Warden. Rouer, the fullback. That handoff goes to J.T. Mesh, and he gets nothing.
Tried the counter play, but they ran into Joe Kroll, number 34, who came up and penetrated. I'll have a chance to see it. Little pull and trap penetration. There's Kroll.
Good job
and
by
also,
Kroll.
Yeah, and 43, Katina was in there initially.
2 plays left for Glenbard West to get it into the end zone.
It's now or never for the Hilltoppers.
Warden rolling out, looking for somebody in the end zone now. Doubles back, still scampering. Just gets it away, just beyond the reach of Nick Borello. Everybody ad-libbing there as Warden went coast to coast. First the rollout to the far side, then coming back to the near side.
He reversed his field, and sometimes when you do that, you get a block in the back, but we won't see it. Here is the end of the play. Nick Borello, a shot at it just outside. And now, 4th down. We got 1 football play to go.
Timeout, Glenbard West.
Well, they were in a similar situation in Lake Zurich a week ago, though it wasn't overtime. Just 6 seconds left to go in regulation.
It's the same deal.
Yeah. 10 yards away. And
2 outstanding teams
what a
playing
job.
head-to-head. I mean, you talk about state championship football. This is what it's really all about. These schools, 7 miles apart.
Well,
the community support for both these teams is always great.
There'll be some exhausted players both sides heading back to the Chicago suburbs. They're leaving it all on the field tonight. What a job by both of these teams and both coaching staffs. Well, here it comes down to 1 play it's into the end zone, we go to another round pending the point after. If they don't get into the end zone, Wheaton Warrenville South will be crowned the 7A champion. Simple as that.
Being able to protect Tyler Warden on this play is absolutely huge. It'll be interesting to see if defensive coordinator Mark Jackson brings extra people.
Well, they've got the hero Mark Hibben in there as a wideout. He was the hero of a week ago at Lake Zurich. Here we go. Into the end zone, it's nowhere close, and Wheaton Warrenville South wins the 7A championship in double overtime, 31-24.
There's your scene.
Looked like he was throwing to J.T. Mesh, who cut off the route early. Looked like Warden was expecting Mesh to go to the corner.
What a tough loss for the Hilltoppers. What a well-played game.
Wow.
And an exceptionally big win.
You feel for the Hilltoppers, and you are joyous in celebration for the Tigers of Wheaton Warrenville South. Wheaton Warrenville South wins its 6th state championship, adding the 7A title to titles in 92, 95, 96, 98, and 2006. And your heart goes out. Yeah, your heart goes out to the Hilltoppers. They have every reason to be extremely proud of what they did tonight, but that won't lessen the sting.
No doubt about it.
It's going to be a tough ride home.
You know, you're only going to get one winner in a game like this. The Hilltoppers feel a lot like Joliet Catholic does right now.
Yep.
Congratulations to Wheaton Warrenville South and Ron Muhich's team. Congratulations to Chad Hetlett for an outstanding season. Last year, the semifinals. This year, the finals. Who knows what the next season will bring.
The only loss this year for the Tigers to Maine South, who will be playing for the 8A title. The season began with an impressive 34-26 win over #1 ranked Hinsdale Central. And then came impressive victories over the next 7 regular season games. They allowed only 28 points. And then beat St. Lawrence, Geneva, St. Rita, East St. Louis, and Glenbard West. I tell you what, Wheaton Warrenville South earned that championship.
They certainly did, and I had heard people mention that they were in the tougher bracket, but you know what? These two teams are evenly matched.
Oh.
There's just no doubt about it.
You know, it's truly the agony and the ecstasy.
And my recollections in my years of coaching was the same kind of behavior as you're seeing here when Coach Thorne and my teams played, and Coach Muhich here, along with Coach Hetlett's teams. The good sportsmanship, hard-fought football game, and the DuPage County area has really been treated to some great football this year.
It'll be talked about for a long time.
Great football game.
Double overtime, 31-24. We were tied 17 all, and of course, another young man that your heart goes out to is Tim Holloway, who had a chance to perhaps win it in regulation with the field goal that missed.
Well, that's exactly right, and I'm sure he'll remember that kick, but you know what? He is one of the reasons they're here in this game this season, and he's done a great job as an outside linebacker and been a great kicker. One of our keys to the game for Wheaton South was to win the kicking game, and I don't know if they won it or not, but it was certainly a factor in the football game, that's for sure.
Well, here in the house that Red Grange built, their most famous football playing alum, Wheaton Warrenville South, picks up a state championship in winning the 7A title. Both teams wrapping up their post-game handshakes. Let's go down to the sidelines and our Aaron Bennett.
Guys, thanks. We're here with Matt Rogers, scored the game-winning touchdown in double overtime. Could you have drawn up a more high-drama game for a state title?
No, we knew that we were both evenly matched with this team. We knew it was going to go down to the wire. We've been practicing overtime situations all week, and to have it come down to this and have us win the state title is unbelievable. I'm speechless. It's amazing.
What does it mean to you that Coach has the confidence to put the ball in your hands in the second overtime of this game?
It feels amazing. We might have I got to have that nose for the end zone. It's amazing. You just got to have the nose for the end zone, keep fighting, keep that leg drive, and Coach believed in me that I could get it in.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, I'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much.
Saw the producer in the background. I think he's got Coach Ron Muhich.
All right. Aaron's right back with another interview. Let's go down to you, Aaron.
Guys, thanks. Here with head coach Ron Muhich. Coach, did you lose a few years off your life in this game?
Just want to know if those guys miss me up there. I'd rather be down here, fellas, and I want to tell you, lost a couple of years, couple of gray hairs, came on that head again. Great effort by both teams. You know what? That's what people paid to see a state championship come down to an overtime. Both teams battled hard. Real proud of my kids. You know, that 1st and 25 was unbelievable adversity. These kids have rose up to every challenge they faced, every game this year. Real proud of them, and real proud of Glenbard West as well.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank
you.
you.
Enjoy it. Guys, Wheaton Warrenville South, state champs. Back up to you.
Some very gracious words from Ron Muhich as Chad Hetlet will now have to go to his team and say, you know, this is part of life too, learning how to deal with defeat, especially after such a hard-fought contest.
Had a great season, Coach Hetlet, and your guys have a lot to be proud of, as the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers, 2 outstanding football teams.
Glenbard West outgained them 293 yards to 237. And it was a 17-all tie at the end of regulation.
You know, in my years as coaching, what he's doing right now, Coach Ellyn, this is the hardest thing you have to do. And one of the most important things you do is to keep your poise and tell your guys how proud you are of them for their season, because they are listening to what he has to say. Last time that these seniors, they started out their careers playing freshman football against each other, as we said, the first game of their high school career, and the seniors now just finished an unbelievable last game of their high school careers, and we were really treated to a great football game.
I tell you what, that was worth everything to be able to be a part of this one. In fact, you and I in the 5A and 7A, 2 dynamite games, with Marist upending Joliet Catholic by a point on the game of the career for Chris Andriano and his staff, and then this game here tonight, both teams literally laying it all out on the line tonight, and Wheaton Warrenville South wins it in double overtime, 31-24. By the way, in the passing numbers, O'Toole was 10 of 21 for 129 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Ward 9 of 25 for 110 yards, no touchdowns. Warden with 1 interception, O'Toole threw 2 interceptions. We will now have the awarding of the second place and championship trophies to the respective teams, and then Maine South and Marist will take the stage. Dave Bernhardt and Jack McInerney to call the game here on the IHSA TV network. Wow, that one, I tell you what, up here I feel drained. I mean, that just was an emotional roller coaster for both teams.
Well, and you know my background. I've coached out in the western suburbs for 28 years, and I know both, of course, I coached at Glenbard West for 23, and I have a great deal of empathy for the young men on this football team and the staff, but I also will say that, you know, coming in, Dave Oberhelman asked me, one of the reporters, what I thought it would happen, and I said, I think it's going to go to the wire, and a field goal might determine it. And, what are you going to say? There's Coach Albie Zander, who's a great freshman football coach. He and Dave McCarroll work with these younger guys, and the Hilltoppers were undefeated on their freshman A level, so they got things up and running. But right now, you know, it just shows you how hard it is to win a state championship.
And it's so tough to be undefeated, and your only loss comes in the game for the state championship.
Coach John Sigmund there in a nice moment. Great offensive line coach, played for Barry Alvarez up there at the University of Wisconsin. Telling Billy Caspers he's proud of him and did a great job. There's Kyle Nice, another one of the coaches who actually played for Chad Hetlet, Connor Loftus.
And it's okay to shed a tear, guys.
Oh, no doubt about it.
It is okay.
You don't know how many times I had to talk to, whenever it's your last football game, that's how you feel anyway.
But as the years go by, the sting of the loss tonight will be gradually replaced by the pride of your accomplishment. It's a second place trophy for Glenbard West, a championship trophy for Wheaton Warrenville South, and frankly, what will be talked about for years, one of the classic championship games in this series.
Most definitely, Tom.
Just a classic.
There's the principal, Dr. Jane Thorson, down there on the booth, along with the athletic director, Linda Oberg. Trying to be happy and cheerful, but that's what you have to do.
Yep.
I know the Hilltoppers will be coming home for a big pep rally at 11 o'clock tonight, so all of you who want to really give your support to them as they come back and say, hey, thanks for the great season. There haven't been many seasons like that at Glenbard West throughout the years of the school, and these guys certainly would appreciate heartfelt, warm appreciation with a good turnout at the pep rally.
And in the city of Wheaton, I know they will gladly welcome home their champions, winning their 6th state championship, and salute them deservedly so for the great game they played today. Just an all-time classic back and forth tussle, and
Dr. Gardner and Mr.
Overused line, but a shame somebody
present special medallions.
Let's go down to Jeff Fritzen for the
Coach
awarding of the
and his team captains.
Very long faces there, as you would expect.
J.T. Mish, Will Casper, Mike Sandos, Steve Jones, all seniors. Coach Chad Etlett, Superintendent Mason.
Receiving their 2nd place medals.
I've got one of those in my house, and I'll tell you, it's still up on the wall from the 76 team. I was very proud of the guys' efforts, I'll tell you. Coach Deshawn, in his last season, and I was assistant. Quite a memory. I didn't get doing a flashback here.
25-2. These seniors were the last 2 years as juniors and seniors.
Connor Loftus, that young man going to play somewhere
will
next year.
present the 2nd place trophy to the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West, who finished the season with a final record of 13 wins and 1 loss.
Another chapter in the storied rivalry that goes back almost 100 years between the Glen Ellyn High School of Glenbard, as it was known,
right,
and Wheaton Community, then Wheaton Central.
Back in 1988, Wheaton Warrenville South really got it going, I remember, because we were their opening game, and Coach Thorne, 90 and 91, got to the finals.
Charles Baker, Principal Dawn Snyder, Athletic Director Mike Healy, Coach Ron Muhich, and the captains of Class 7A champion Wheaton Warrenville South. Please join the presenters on the awards platform. Knuckles and Mr. Connor will present special medallions to the administrators, and individual awards will be presented to Coach Muhich and his team captain. Now, Dr. will present this year's state championship Class 7A team trophy to the Tigers of Wheaton Warrenville South, who finished the season with a final record of 13 wins and 1 loss.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the awards presentation for the Class 7A championship game. The Illinois High School Association thanks you for joining your team here at Memorial Stadium and hopes you enjoyed your visit to the University
Back
of
with
Illinois.
more as we get ready for the 8A game after we take this time out to hear from our local stations.
And we are back in Champaign after just a heart-wrenching 7A title game won by Wheaton Warrenville South in double overtime. 31-24 the final over Glenbard West. Again, that was double overtime. Lee Hall, Paul Parpik, Gary Corhonen, and guys, there's an old song, some got to win, some got to lose, and unfortunately somebody, that is the cliche, somebody had to lose that game. Some tough calls back and forth. There was a roughing the kicker on Wheaton Warrenville South that seemed to give Glenbard the edge, and Glenbard gets called for a late hit out of bounds, a questionable call, and it comes down to a last fourth down play, and Glenbard couldn't get the touchdown, and Wheaton Warrenville South comes away with the second state title for our friend Ron Muhich. And yes, Coach, we do miss you up here. We're honored that you even thought about us after you won a state title. And as long as you keep doing that, we don't want you to come back, all right? Keep winning those state titles, right?
Well, I don't think that words could explain the type of football game that we saw out there tonight. But I would just like to say that Glenbard West and Wheaton Warrenville South presented to DuPage County with the type of football that you played. And, Tyler Warden, big plays, hung in there tough, gave your team a chance to win. Wheaton Warrenville South never quit. I mean, it was an awesome game. It was an awesome game to watch. And, hey, I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly concur, Paul. I just, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Ron Muhich on his second state championship and 6th overall at Wheaton Warrenville South. That's an amazing accomplishment. But as you said, big people make big plays. Like Tyler Warden kept his team in there. Connor Loftus did an outstanding job on defense, and that one interception he made that put Glenbard ahead was a big play. Not to mention Nick Emicus kicking the field goal, and then in the second half, the 2 kickoffs putting Wheaton Warrenville South in the end zone and making them go 80 yards. I think the 80-yard drive was a very, very big achievement by Glenbard West, but it just wasn't enough. I think the biggest play of the game, late in the game, I thought was when it was 3rd and 11 in the first overtime with Wheaton Warrenville South, and you thought that it may have been an end for them, and big people make big plays. Riley O'Toole was there again. He stepped up with a pass, and not to mention Adam Brewery's touchdown in overtime and Matt Rogers. Just a great game, and just what high school football is all about.
Let's take a look at those stats. The stats brought to us by Menards. Save big money at Menards, and there you get a look at the numbers. Glenbard West, the rushing yards advantage there. Wheaton Warrenville South, the edge in the air. 2 turnovers for each team. The penalties, Glenbard West with 8 for 51, 5 for 49 for Wheaton Warrenville South. And the time of possession favored Glenbard West.
Yeah, and I think that it did. And just like Gary said, that ball that was thrown on the 3rd down and 11 that took it down to the 1 yard for Wheaton Warrenville, that was excellent coverage by Glenbard West. Excellent. You could not have put that ball in a better spot.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from this great, memorable 7A state championship game. There were plenty of highlights, especially in the second half. And here we have Adam Brewery taking it in for Glenbard, and then it's Wheaton Warrenville South answering in the overtime. That's Julian Benuelos. And then Matthew Rogers, and that would prove to be the game-winning touchdown. Here is the 4th down and 10 play. And it looked like one of the receivers broke off the pattern, and the throw falls incomplete. And Wheaton Warrenville South comes away with a state championship, finishing the season 13-1, gentlemen.
Yep. And I'd like to congratulate Ron Muhich for winning a state championship, and I'd also like to congratulate Chad Hetlett for a job well done. Tonight there were no losers in that 7A game.
Yep.
That's exactly correct. And, you know, that's what high school football is all about. It makes it the great game it is. You know, these kids are out here because they want to be out here. They don't have agents. They're not on scholarships. They're here because they want to be there. And to put on a performance like that, it was just awesome.
Great performances by both teams, but Wheaton Warrenville South is your 7A state champion and 8A championship to be handed out to wrap things up here in Champaign. Maine South against Marist. That ball game is coming up next. Stay tuned for these local messages.